Hey everybody, it is 6 o'clock, it is Tuesday night, it is time for Dragons and Things. It is our second episode on Tuesday. It is the first time in our run that I have not flubbed the entrance. I think we're ready to get going.
Way to go, Jim.
It's
Entrance
gonna be a good night.
or the intro?
Hey, let him have it.
Entrance to the show, we're entering the space. I'm just trying to get creative, and you're bringing me down already, so Quinton's dead. Next.
Wow.
It's bound to happen.
Everybody, we are so glad you are here for our second episode of the Tuesday run. We hope that the first one was exciting, and we promise that the second one will be as well. I don't have too much to get into, but I do want to mention that because of unused buffs last week,
About that. Leave it. Don't touch it.
the only other thing that carries over from last week would be cards. I know that some of you have cards.
Boom, baby.
Some of you don't have cards. Some of you maybe were supposed to have cards but lost them. That's sad.
I was warned not to lose the card.
Very specifically.
Let's pretend that I did. What happens if I did?
Well, I don't know. I guess you don't get to use it first, and second, your deck is permanently
that's my
reduced
card.
by 1.
Well, don't worry, I found it. I found it. Don't worry.
Good.
I had
Off
it
to
the
a
whole
great
time.
start.
I had it the whole time.
Off to a great start.
It's cool how you got it from your area all the way over there. That's a fun trick.
Magic.
Yep.
Power of the universe.
Yep.
Power of the universe. You know, without really any more fanfare, I think it's just time to play some Pathfinder.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do.
Please.
All right. So here we go. It is 11 a.m. on the 13th of Auspice, and the city of Vantam is burning. News is still scattered, and chaos reigns. Some say that Verdant Circle sabotaged Seven Towers University as an act of terrorism in their fight to rid the city of magic. Others whisper that the Unheard caused the explosion to strike a killing blow against Lord Gresham, who was acquitted of illegal experimentation on a pair of Fogdown-born twins last month. Still others fear that this was a high-level operation from the Royal Court of Thaspir, incensed that the Vantamites practiced necromancy in the open, despite royal law. Rumors on rumors on rumors. Green, blue, and violet flames still reach into the sky like a dreadful beacon. A flurry of light, sparkling, glowing motes of mithricite dust swirl and dance through the air, settling over everything in an otherworldly coating of eldritch ash. An announcement from Arch-Counselor Celissa Bondway has already been magically broadcast throughout every district in the city. Stay indoors. Don't panic. Rest assured that emergency responders are working to make sure the flames are contained. Don't worry about the oddly colored dust and ash. It's harmless. Anyone in the Bellows is advised to leave the district or retreat to the Underforge, the underground community of gnomes and dwarves beneath the open city. The entire central district is closed to civilians. You have all spent the morning wondering what comes next, but your musings are interrupted when the front door to your sanctuary is thrown wide, and the bundled form of Belson Friedel rushes across the threshold. He quickly throws off a heavy coat and scarf covered in the fading glow of dust, and tosses garments aside into a heap on the floor, quite uncharacteristic of the normally composed halfling, who appreciates decorum and order above all. He shakes himself off, takes a deep breath, and turns to where you were all sitting. Now you see that he has a folder in his hands. Good morning, heroes. I have an opportunity for us. What do you do?
We read comments!
That was good. That was a real solid.
I almost forgot. I was like, and I read comments.
Well, first off, $5 from the real POTUS and $5 from Dark Knight. Edge to Megan and an edge to Katie. The one for Megan is from POTUS. The one for Katie is from Dark Knight.
Thank you.
Nice.
Comments.
Comments.
Well, speaking of Dark Knight, he says, could watch this all day, every day.
I would
Yeah.
become very tired indeed.
I love it. Let's do it every day.
All day, every day. Aaron's Glory says, I'm probably going to say this every time, but damn, I love this intro. Well done, guys.
Brian Summer saying, finally, a justified reason to call today Super Tuesday. My exit poll shows DaT takes the win. I think it will.
Ooh,
I think we're going to take
this
it
is timely.
today. Yeah.
And we have Batman Sarah asking, what color is the ash?
All manner of colors. glitters. It actually seems
glittery.
it's almost like rainbows of fireflies just fluttering through the air, settling over everything. And as you look out, it's like looking over a snow-covered city, but the snow like shifts in color and glow every so often, very subtly. It's extremely beautiful and mesmerizing.
Barrier 75 says, I can't wait to see what destruction the party creates this week. I hate to tell you, I
that's
think the destruction has already happened.
Yeah.
I think now it's just what more can we do? So, have any of us been outside at this point?
Yes.
I don't believe so. I mean, I'm not going to say that you've been outside unless you wish to go outside.
Grace
I
has
don't put
been
you in
outside.
that. I don't put you out there.
She's been in snow
I think she's like, I know that
She's
bad,
been
but
eating it. I don't know.
Ash ice cream. Mm.
Yeah.
And real quick, I believe we have a sub from The Cadence,
Ooh.
Thank you.
as well as a follow from Waffles Maple Syrup.
No, it's
Yeah,
waffles now.
And cheers from Crossbones. Hey. Thank you, Crossbones. Thank you, everybody.
So, Bilson settles in his chair, places a folder on the table, a document that those of you watching can go to patreon.com/the Dat Dragon Show and find and download for yourselves if you want to read it.
They can get that on Patreon?
They can get that on Patreon. He also turns to you, Zaka, and hands you a letter. If somebody could pass this down to our good friend Zaka. A bit of mail for you, he says, before turning to address the rest of you. To business. A standing client has been affected by the unfortunate disaster that has befallen the city and requires the aid of heroes, which I, of course, see before me. As the nearest HEI representatives, you are bound to fulfill the rescue operation as stipulated in your licensing agreement. Your mission is to secure our client and safely remove them to an agreed-upon location, which is here, incidentally. I must insist that you look over the paperwork quickly, formulate a response plan immediately. Time is of the essence. If you have any questions, I can answer them now.
How important is this guy?
Extremely. He pays very well, on time, and his contract is solid.
Good. Now
Is
we
it-
should do this.
Is it safe out there?
The city says so. I'm certain it will be.
And yet you come in all bundled up unlike your normal self.
Well, I didn't want to get ash all over my suit.
That is true.
But it's pretty, Ash.
Right? That's so pretty. Can I get it on there?
Yes.
No, not Belson. No, Jim. Jim, this was something that occurred to me after last episode. Are we the only heroes in town?
You are the only HEI franchise. Now,
Wow.
it is well known that some adventurers skirt the law in Thaspir and
How dare
operate unlicensed operations, but you were the first in Vantam to actually open an official sanctuary.
Good job, team.
So we're the first.
Yes.
So there were no other heroes there before us.
No, HEI itself
Is
is
HEI new?
relatively. Only in the last few years did it actually incorporate and sort of start spreading throughout Thaspir.
And is HEI the only company that deals with heroes?
That is correct. It is the only licensing company in Thaspir. And Thaspir is one of the only nations to actually regulate the profession of adventuring.
I have a question, Jim.
You've had
And
like
also-
6 so far.
Did you watch The Boys and Chernobyl this year? Because I feel like maybe we're dealing with those two. I'm done.
I was gonna say, don't forget, we're the Hey Heroes, not HEI heroes. We're the
Hey,
Hey
heroes.
Hey, heroes!
Hey Heroes.
Hey, heroes!
Hey, heroes!
Exactly.
You're needed.
Does he not seem perturbed at all by what has happened?
Let's find out.
Yeah, he
what
seemed-
you notice about
Because
our
I
good
mean,
friend
all this
Belson.
craziness just happened, and he
The
just
last
walked in
time
like
he
got a
seemed,
job.
yeah, the last time he seemed more like you gotta go do this, and now it's
Yeah.
like,
How
so
long has it been since it happened?
A
He actually
day.
does seem
happened yesterday.
rather energized by all this. You can tell that he's not necessarily pleased. He's not happy, but like he's in business mode. Like you would have to guess that with something like of this scale happening in the city, what you know of Belson, he probably is seeing a lot of dollar signs, and this is a huge opportunity, not just for the company, but as a fledgling franchise to really make a name for yourselves.
Right, so do you think that we might be able to find out what actually happens? Because if we were the ones who found out, I mean, that would be a lot of a claim.
Let me stop you right there, Grace. That is not our current mission. We are, if the city calls upon us to do any kind of investigation or intervention, that is, of course, something that we will negotiate and take up the call if required. But as of current, that is not in our mission purview.
On our
Please
own
review the
time.
documents and understand that the client's safety is of utmost and only concern.
Yeah, so what does everything say?
Maybe the client knows.
Exactly.
I mean, we are picking him up from the Seven Towers district.
Yes, you will have to venture into it. Postmortal Services is a building in Seven Towers District that you will have to travel to. However, it is far enough away from the site of the actual explosion that you should have no concerns about any radiant magic or ambient effects or the flames itself. And you should, both for your own safety and for the safety of the city, stay clear of any emergency intervention teams that are on site.
So
Let them do their jobs and you do yours.
we're going to Seven Towers,
You are indeed going into Seven Towers.
but that's where the explosion was.
That is where this explosion happens.
And
You are
that's where
heroes, thrusting yourselves into the
postmortal
middle.
Services is.
Yes, Postmortal Services. We've had a long-standing relationship with that company. In fact, I don't know if any of you have decided one way or the other, but part of your charter does allow you to actually take advantage of their corporeal remains program, allowing you to actually keep a little bit more of what you earn.
But in return, they have first claim to your mortal remains.
Oh. Well, that's just getting paid to be an organ donor.
That doesn't
In a
sound
manner
like
of
good luck.
speaking, that's exactly what it is. A civic duty.
Yes.
I don't know.
Really quick, we did have a Coro 33. Just wanted to double check what HEI stands for. That's Heroic Endeavors Incorporated.
Indeed it is.
That's who we are.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey.
Hey.
Odalie, is there anything else in there that we should be worried about?
Well, just a quick question on the compensation here. 50 gold scales, administrative fees waived.
That's correct. The 50 gold scale fee will be yours to split. HEI already has a long-standing agreement with Postmortal Services. This is not so much something that they've contracted with for you specifically, because Postmortal Services is partnered with HEI. We have protection contracts out on most of their high-level necromancers. So, when an emergency like this arises, this was a deal that was already in place. Therefore, they've already paid the company their fees through the deal. You will be paid directly by HEI the full fee.
So Quindon this whole time has sort of been sitting by the window, probably for a while, just looking very much as you described, sort of lost by the glitter,
Sure.
the ash.
The iridescent
And he just
snow.
starts to laugh, and he says, "So the high-level necromancer needs our help, and the tower's exploded." Okay, yeah, sure. And so he gets up, and he just puts his hand right on Belson, and he says, "Okay, buddy," and he just walks out the door and says, "Let's go!" And he just
Excellent.
starts
That's
walking.
the spirit. Client's in danger. The man
He's-
knows what
and he-
needs to be done.
He just sort of is laughing as he goes further into the distance, and he's probably think I catch the mithricite ash on his tongue.
Sure. I mean, it tastes like ash. It's not snow. It's not pleasant.
Which does give him pause for a moment.
Yeah.
Because he was pretty convinced of a different thing that was happening. He does, yeah.
Yeah.
He will, maybe gets a little, he decides maybe that's not the best action,
Sure.
catching the snow.
It tastes awful.
ash. Yeah.
Zakah would go over to Odalie and ask, is there a time of day this would be best for?
The time of day would be immediate. He's in immediate danger.
Oh,
He
yes.
needs your
it's-
services right now.
Yeah.
I said walk to Odalie.
Yeah, Sly's like looking to the rest of the group who's still standing there and like looking at the door like, Quinn?
Thank
Quinn?
you, Belson. We'll see to it.
Right,
You-
yeah.
Go get him.
You may take your leave.
What is it exactly this one's in danger from, or is that just general danger that there's fire about and he's worried? I don't know what
Well,
that
see,
says.
that is one of the things about the emergency beacons is we don't actually know. We don't know what exactly his state is. We know he's alive, and we know that there's danger because the magical signal went off, and so you have to respond to it. Expect anything.
So it could
be
be
ready
a
for any
dragon?
type of danger. He
Or
could
a
be-
rat.
What's that?
A dragon or a rat. Could be anything.
It could be, although I doubt a dragon.
All right, well, I hope not. That would be quite unprepared.
I have news. I'm in for life has become the bit boss. Congratulations, I'm in for life, and has provided me with a hero point.
Nice.
Well,
Oh, no.
I accept.
Yeah.
Yes.
One
I
hero
accept
point for
this hero
Quindon.
point. Thank you so much. I'm in for life. Thank you.
They're so pretty.
And the real POTUS 98 says, look at Adam's leadership. So great. Completely unlike that hand-wringing Ben who seems afraid of committing to action.
Yikes.
His words, not mine.
So I would.
Sorry, if you look out the window or through the door,
I would just.
you'll see me dancing through the streets.
That's okay. So I guess he's not going very far.
Oh, no, I'm still going.
Right, but dancing
Slowly.
Like you might double back.
It's
Like
a little bit Joker movement right now.
oh, okay, okay.
A little bit, this, that, but he's still going down the stairs.
I'm guessing that we would like in our basic clothing have like a cloak or something.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm probably gonna grab. Seeing Belson coming in with one of those, I'm gonna grab a cloak and kind of
Yeah.
cover up with that. Having like grabbed my gear and like put on the pack, put everything over that. I'm like, well, Quindon's already on his way. Immediate means now.
Right, yeah. Let's do it.
I mean, if y'all are ready.
I mean,
Well-
do you have the way in?
Well. Primary entrance is a street-facing public access door. Secondary entrance includes service and cadaver delivery door on the south face side of the building.
Sly, why don't you go catch up with Quindon, and we'll be right behind you. Once we're all together, we'll devise a plan.
All right.
So I would imagine we're all kind of walking out, and I'm hoping that Belson has not followed us out.
No, he's perfectly content to. He's actually making himself a cup of tea, and he's apparently going to plant himself in the sanctuary for the remainder of the day.
So once I kind of, get the girls' attention, I'll mention to them that, look, I know we have a job that's pressing, but I feel like I need to go handle this.
What is it?
Well, I've received a letter, a little bit more of a bribe, if anything, but it seems a fan of mine has come across my great axe, and... Why are you laughing?
I'm not there,
You
sorry.
ruined everything.
He's having fun out in the ash and the glitter. That's all.
And the only way I can get it back is if I go check in on his brother. So,
Well, where?
can we fire him?
I mean, you don't intend on going alone, right?
Oh, yeah, that's probably not a good idea. I mean, not that you couldn't take care of it yourself.
Right.
But
I just didn't want to be a bother on the group. I feel like if you want it, if we can take this time for a detour, I'd be
Well,
very
where is it?
appreciative. It's not far. Apparently, we have to go to 1171 Ashbourne Lane.
That's a very specific name for today, right?
Yeah.
He just wants me to check on his brother and escort him to his house, and payment return would be my prized great axe.
Weird. I mean, sounds important. But could we do this and then do that?
Or is
Is
that
it-
on the way to this?
Is it a time commitment? Like a specific time?
Should I roll to know that?
Just you know that you could do it before or after. Your only concern then is if something does happen to his brother and you can't then get to this place he's supposed to take you, then
Yeah.
kind of puts you out. But there's no specific do it now. You could wait. Yes.
There's a big thing. Sarah
Yeah.
BC1 is back.
What happened?
Dropping $75 for a surge of fate to happen.
Wow.
Sir.
Hashtag
Sly.
Sly.
You are gonna have
guy.
fate surging for you.
Wait, I forget.
Chaotically,
Is this
wild magic
Oh.
Yeah.
That realization was perfect.
Oh no, my thing.
You were like, oh, I get a fate surge. Yeah.
Hey, those can go well for us, though. Remember the cats?
They can
Yeah, what
go
happened
all
last
kinds
time?
of different ways.
The cats.
They can go all kinds of different ways. Now, the thing about Fate Surge is that they're no longer specifically targeted at one person. They
But
are
this one's
global
targeted,
effects, and they will simply change the circumstances that you find yourselves in. Since you were targeted, Sly,
I
if
was.
you roll a D8 for me, we can take a look.
All
and see
right.
Ooh,
what's
dice
gonna
cameras.
happen.
Here we
Dice
go.
cam. Boom, boom. That looks like it's the 1 right there. That's the 1.
A number 1. Okay.
Number 1, because this is what, right?
Thank you, Norse
That's
Foundry, for the
7.
dice cameras.
So
Yeah,
that's 1.
thank
Okay.
you.
As you guys are making your way through the street, even as you just leaving the door, within 2 minutes, you notice a haze of bluish mist that seems to be bubbling up from the sewage vents and grates in the city, and it's not a totally uncommon experience, especially in fog downs. This bluish mist acts as fog. Everybody in it has concealment, so that is a DC 5 flat check to do basically anything to anybody.
Oh, jeez.
In addition, you know that this blue mist is because of runoff from a lot of the industry in the bellows, and it has a particular effect on magic users. If anybody wants to make an Arcana check,
Ooh,
see exactly what that
I'll
is,
handle.
or we could just wing it.
I would love to make an Arcana check.
I'll,
Fire up that dice cam.
no, I feel like I'm distracted.
Nope, they didn't fire up that dice cam.
Well,
There
it's 3 on the die, so that's a total of 7.
7. So
I
yeah,
mean, sorry, 10 plus 7. 10.
you know that there is sort of that the mist is slightly magically active, but you can't quite remember how it affects people. You know it's relatively safe. You know it's not like a toxic thing. At least that's what everybody's told. But,
Sounds like a fun thing, is what I'm hearing.
but that's the situation.
I don't notice that. I am
Mist all
dancing
over.
through the streets.
Blue mist and rainbow ash.
And I don't know how well he can see me now because I've got some distance on him. There's a 5 before you can see me. You got to beat that. So good luck, Nathan.
I don't like this. I again would probably turn to them, and if we've caught up to them, great. But I would say,
Okay.
Yeah. You would have been able to
Roll
catch
that
up to them.
perception check.
Here we are on Ashbourne Street. Is that what it was?
Yes.
yes. I would say there's. I don't feel comfortable moving forward without at least trying to get my axe back. So.
All right, well, it's important. I mean, whenever you have a specific weapon that you're used to,
It's true.
Right.
It's very true.
makes a difference.
So we have to go save the high-level necromancer. Us. And you don't want to go do that till you get your axe, even though the city's burning. Quentin is just laughing, and he's probably kicking up ash as he moves, playing in the
How far
snow.
away am I from Quindon?
you might,
I mean,
you might stop.
probably just a few. I mean, you guys would at this point be sort of walking as a group, so.
That's a
I
bit
would
dangerous.
attempt a grapple.
Yes.
Episode 2, and we've got player-on-player combat.
Remember how we took like great lengths to know that we trusted each other as a group and we had worked
I'm not looking to
together.
hurt him. I just
I
want to grab him.
100% trust you guys. 100%.
Well, you grab onto Quindon's shirt.
Yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, I just kind of want to grab his shirt a little bit to kind of shake him out of this nonsense, which, in a non-super
Sure.
forceful way. And I would say to him, "Listen, without my axe, I am not going to be the best that I could be. And if we encounter any danger," and I shake him a little bit every time he giggles, "and if we're going to encounter anything dangerous," she lets him go, and she's just turning off and trying to go attempt to find Ash. She's done with his antics.
I want to call out to her. I say, Zakah, it is true. Without your great axe, your most famous weapon, you will not be at your normal strength. But This is an opportunity to show that you are more than just a weapon. You yourself are strength. It doesn't matter what is in your hands, you can accomplish anything. Zakar, if you accomplish this without your most trusted weapon, weaker than you normally are, you will be renowned.
I hear you, friend, and I appreciate it. Alas, this is my own fault. And these are the consequences that I must face. I should go alone, and you continue on, and I'll meet up with you. This shouldn't take but a mere few minutes.
Easy.
So, to be clear, when you shook Quindon, he's like, yeah, let's go get the axe. But he definitely is like, Zakah. It's something with Quindon is not lining up to what you'd normally see out of him.
Do you think that he actually woke up this morning? Or do you think maybe he's still asleep or thinks he is?
I mean, maybe. I don't... Have I ever seen you like this?
You've seen Quindon be a little spontaneous. Spontaneous?
Spontaneous.
You've seen him be a little
Spontaneous,
spontaneous. You've
Yeah.
seen him be a little wild. This seems to definitely be like the most
most of it?
extreme. You've seen him go that far.
All right, before we decide anything, we could either go down this road and really confuse him, or we could try and set him straight.
Oh yeah, you could totally confuse me.
I'm just saying, it could be fun. Quite confusing for him. Might make this last a little bit longer, but it could be fun. All right, we gotta find an axe and other things,
Quindon is definitely picking up like things as we walk. Like if we walk past booths of what would have been, food carts or food booths, he would definitely just be, which is totally out of character for him. He'd be taking things and just eating, pieces of bread or whatever they got left out or whatever.
Yeah.
But totally out of character for him.
Is he stealing? Oh, all right, maybe this is a bigger thing.
Q? Hey, what you doing there, bud?
Going on an adventure of heroic proportions.
You're awake.
Right.
That's reality. This is real. All of this, we're all real. I'm just touching his face and shoulders.
I'm gonna do a perception check on that.
Sure.
Dex Max. Ooh. All right. 23. I feel like that. See Quindon sort of take a moment.
Yeah, we're awake.
Keeps looking at Zakah like,
She really lost her axe and wants it back. That building's on fire.
What would I mean, I've lived in the city for about 17 years. Would I know which direction to go, or would I?
Yeah, you have a pretty good idea.
Okay.
Even if you couldn't find that exact address just by memory, I know exactly what buildings are. You can find it pretty easy. It's not.
Okay.
That's not a problem.
Okay. I start walking off.
She's making her way. I guess that leaves the question: are you following her, or are you going your own way?
and Quindon would lean in very close to you. Is this real?
Yeah, Q, it's real. Yeah.
He sort of takes the loaf of bread that he's been chewing and is sets it aside. Oh.
Yeah. So you want to be with us all?
She's
And
mad.
yeah, you want to go help her
We
out?
should go get that axe.
Let's go.
He's gonna go get the axe.
Where'd you get the bread?
Moving.
Stealing from cars
Stealing stuff.
with ash on it, just
As you move through the empty city streets, it is an incredibly surreal experience. It is a pleasantly warm day, but the sun is screened by a dense cloud of smoke that hangs over the city, and swirls of glowing ash dart about like mad rainbow fireflies. You see no one on the streets, though in windows you can see faces pressed to thick glass as worried citizens watch to see if the world is going to crumble around them. Before too long, you run across a patrol of enforcers in thick winter coats dashing through the streets in the same direction that you're headed. They spot you, and one of the officers pulls a scarf down from his mouth to shout at you, "Return to your homes! What are you doing in the streets?"
HEI.
As soon as you flash the badge, you can see some of the other enforcers kind of roll their eyes. You hear a couple snap, freelancers. Ridiculous. Fine, just stay out of our way.
Of course.
It's quite rude.
There was $5 that came in earlier from POTUS, giving me a boost for my bravery and leadership.
Bravery and
I think
leadership.
POTUS has been putting a little something in his coffee.
Maybe it's for the other Adam on Friday?
Ah, shoot, Adam found out.
Yep, that's it. That's it. Duchess of Dino is saying, this rainbow ash is really affecting Quindon.
Well, I
He's
like
having some issues.
Mick Cranky Stank added to that saying, Quinny the Pooh, stumbling through rainbow ashes.
And Jukebox Raccoon says, this setup is so awesome. Looks great.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Amazing.
So they offer no further challenge once you present the badge. Though you can tell there's like a little bit of disdain for you from them.
Yeah.
You know, and the man who stopped you very quickly like pulls the scarf back up over his face, leads his troop onward deeper into Seven Towers. Once you cross over into this, the Seven Towers district of Vantam is actually one of the only walled districts. And once you cross into it, you can see that it's actually a little bit more active than the other areas of the city that you pass through, despite the proximity to the danger. There are women and men in thick robes marked by a variety of company and guild logos doing their best to make sense of what they're seeing. Some have set up observation posts with long brass telescopes pointed towards the rising flames of the burning tower. Others are busy collecting samples of the falling ash. There are a variety of other activities that make no logical sense to you, but likely have some long and complex arcane reasoning behind them. Zakah, you have the address of Stamos' brother, and it doesn't take you long to find the building because it is indeed not far from the southern gate of Seven Towers. It is a townhouse, rather nice, leading you to believe it is probably a company-owned building that they use to house workers they want to keep near wherever they are headquartered. On the roof of the building, you see that there is a man fussing with a large machine of metal, glass, and gears. He moves with an animated excitement, occasionally stopping to write a note on one of his many clipboards. You have a sinking feeling that this is the brother you were sent to collect. What do you do?
I would march right up to him.
He's up on the roof.
Oh, he's on the roof.
He's on the roof of this building. He's got some
She starts
weird
walking
machine
on
up.
air.
She just
is back
flies
to
up.
being very confused.
I'm gonna turn to the girls because they know the most about this, and I'll say, I have a feeling that is who we're looking for.
Huh.
I
Well,
guess we're climbing some stairs.
all right.
Might
Are
as
there
well.
stairs?
Well, you're currently basically outside a townhouse. There's the door. You would assume that there's got to be stairs to get up there. You could climb the side of the building if you wanted, but you assume that if he got up there and he's obviously built some kind of machine or transported some kind of machine up there, there's probably stairs or some method of getting to the roof.
All right, I'll walk up to the front door and knock on it. See
Sure.
if he can hear
You
it.
start banging on the door, and a moment later, like a voice from above you calls down, and you see, like, looking over the side of the building is this guy. He says, "Hey, what do you want? I'm busy. I got a lot of work to do. What do you want?"
Do you have a brother?
Yeah, got a brother. Also got a lot of work to do. Yeah, Stamos. What does he want?
He wants to make sure you're okay. He sent me. I'm Zakah. We're with HEI.
Okay.
Hey.
I almost said hey. I'm with hey.
Hello.
We're with HEI. We've been, your brother is very concerned about you. He'd like me to escort you to him.
Yeah, I'm not leaving. I got a lot of work to do. This is fantastic. Have you seen all of this? There's so many. Hold on a moment. He moves over to his machine. He opens this panel on the side, sticks a tool in there, and starts cranking away. You see some like sparks real quick, and he closes the panel. He's like, "Oh, this is fantastic." Anyway, what did you say you were? I'm sorry. I'm very, 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 very busy.
What are you working
My brother's.
on?
I'm fine. This is the future. This is the future. And he sort of disappears, and now you can't see him anymore because you can still hear him, but his voice gets kind of muffled as he like buries his head in the machine again and starts working again.
Right.
I yell up and I say, "This is real." It's real. I was confused too, but it's real.
All right, shall we knock him out there and just like carry him?
I mean, y'all can do that. I want to know what he's working on.
Yeah.
Odily, everybody's talking to this guy, and you're standing on the ground level and you're looking up there, and he's got his head, like he's buried in this machine. And you notice that there are these two crystals sticking up almost like weather vanes out of the very top of it, and these sparks start passing back and forth between them. At first, kind of slowly, but then as the conversation's going on and whatever he's doing to like it's getting faster and faster and brighter, and you start to see smoke curl up from inside the machine, and suddenly this guy, he like backs up from the machine real quick, and he like has this look of absolute terror on his face, and he looks like he's about to shout something when the whole thing explodes in this shower of thick yellow smoke that is just pouring out of the machine. He disappears. Like he's on the ground, or he's just in, like, you don't know what happened. But either way, let's roll initiative.
Are we fighting a machine?
I mean,
So,
in a way,
the
we're
interesting
all-
thing about
right.
Pathfinder 2nd Edition is that they've really sort of expanded encounter mode to mean anything that you need to do in round increments. So this doesn't necessarily have to be a combat, however, because your individual actions will matter so much as to whether this poor man lives or dies. That's why we're going into encounter mode. So, for initiative, what do we have, Sly?
I got a 24.
20.
Jim.
Whoa, Sly
18
was
on the
prepared.
die.
Ready for danger, as always. Quindon.
24.
Oh,
Very ready.
both of
did
you
warn
have
him
the
it was
same
real.
perception bonus.
It was very real.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll off. Let's see
Roll
whoever
off.
gets the highest
I also
bonus there,
mention
highest
that
roll
I got
there.
a 24.
Whoa, no!
Zika, you
that's-
actually
I call
don't
that
have
a
the
lead. I
same
call that a
initiative
lead.
bonus as them, so you'll be after both of them.
Ooh, nope, you got it.
Yeah, I think I beat you with my 13 to your 1.
So it'll be Sly, Quindon, and then Zaka. Where are you? There you are. You'll notice we have our minifigures. this week. We got the old minis this week. Odily.
21.
21 for
Wow.
Odily.
What?
There were some good initiatives.
I got a 20.
Too bad
Whoa.
we're not fighting a
I
second
was
right
the
now.
lowest.
We
Y'all,
just all had
Yeah.
20 and above.
y'all were
That's really
Friday group, take note. That's how you roll initiative.
That's how you do it.
Oh.
Don't jinx.
Sly, you see this sort of, it's not really an explosion, but there's smoke just pouring, and it's like heavy. It settles down over the roof, creating this thick fog. Some of it's actually rolling off the side of the roof. What do you do?
Well, so we're pretty much right by the door, right?
Yes,
Can I try to see if the door is locked?
it is.
It is. Then I will pull out my thieves' tools to try
Sure.
and pick the lock.
Okay, it is going to be, I believe it's 2 actions to try to disable the device, so that's fine. You get your thieves' tools, you start working on it.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a thievery check.
Thievery. That is 13 on the die plus 6. That's a 19.
19. It takes you a few seconds, but you it's no real problem for someone of your skill. Before too long, the door clicks open and just sort of slides aside.
Yeah, I'll push it. Do I have another move in me?
So you don't
'cause
have
I'm
any more
close enough?
actions because you have to pull out your thieves' tools. You sit there, you,
Cool.
you do your thing. You're done for now, but
The
Quindon,
door
the
is
door
open
is
for everyone
open
else.
to the inside.
Jim.
Yes.
Lamar, the con guy, who we happen to know, has given $5 to the show, but specifically wishes to give the edge to Lord Bearjug. Because
Bearjug.
this game, as it looms over the helpless adventurers. So you get
Yes,
you.
obviously. Bear Jug.
Ah.
Yes.
And Dark Knight wants Katie to sing, I believe.
Sink.
Okay.
Sing. Oh, it's sing.
Sink.
Katie gotta sing.
I'm like, you didn't donate enough for me to sing.
So, Katie, you've got to sync. Hold on to that until you want to reduce one of my rolls or one of your allies' rolls by 1.
Sure.
I will hold on to that edge until Bear Jug decides
Oh.
to help me.
Quindon is. He's gone to the other extreme. Now extremely hesitant of this whole thing because
Yeah.
he was eating that ash.
Yeah.
He's like, oh crap. So I think he's going to take a moment to kind of assess the whole situation. Perception check to just kind of see what he's
Take a
hearing,
Sneak action.
what he's seeing.
So you notice again this yellow fog is like rolling over the side of the building. You can't see this guy.
Yeah.
You do recall like he got a little bit thrown back there's this burst of energy. He got thrown back a little bit. Now he's out of view because of your angle to him, but you don't really notice a whole lot else, especially with the blue haze that is all over everything.
stuff.
Everything is really.
All right,
crazy.
Quinton focuses on that then.
Sure.
What is that?
It would be an
Arcana, right?
Arcana, yes.
Yeah.
So it's a second action to recall knowledge about this.
Sure, I will do that because that is now in his sights. Ooh, not great. 10.
10. Yeah, you are not quite certain.
No, yeah.
You know about as much as Odely knows about.
So I think he's gonna take his last action to sort of move out of the way and say, "Saka, go help him.
Go get him, Zaka.
Go get that axe."
It is your turn, Zaka.
Right. Well, quickly, I'm in for life gave both me and Megan an edge.
Thank you, I'm in
Nice.
for life.
Edge.
And Dead Aussie Gamer has commented, "We are next level. Much love from Australia."
Ooh, Australia.
So, obviously, Sly opened the door.
Yes.
Does it look like it'd be quicker for me to run up the stairs or to climb up the building?
It would be easier for you to go through the building, but slow. It would be more challenging to climb, but faster.
And you'll get
And
panache.
that's enough. Ooh, do I get panache?
Absolutely. 100%.
That's
I want
my
that.
thing!
Is climbing athletics or?
It is an athletics check to just climb up the side of the building.
Yeah.
Heck yeah! Why
That's-
wouldn't Zaka do it?
That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, yeah, she would absolutely attempt that. All
Thanks,
right.
Cameron.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
Nat 20. You just like start like almost like
27.
walking up the side of this
Punches
building.
into the side of the
Ooh,
stucco
Wonder
and then
Woman. Like Wonder Woman when she climbs up the side of the.
Oh yeah, I mean just right up scaling this building with ease. You pull yourself up over the top with a critical success, and you are now completely enveloped in this
Oh, God.
this foul-smelling, toxic
I was
fog.
gonna say, am I now poisoned?
And I do need to make a fortitude save.
I'm gonna use my edge on my fortitude save, which is a
probably
plus
really
one.
smart.
Yeah, that's probably a good move.
All right, let's see. Ooh. So that would be
Oh yeah.
I rolled a 3, guys. So that would be a 10.
10 total. Oh
This
no.
has always happened to me.
You are weakened 1. As you feel like shaky, your hands start shaking. You don't take any damage, but you can tell the stuff is starting to affect you, and it is not pleasant. Now, you're in this fog. It's even thicker than the blue mist from below. If you want to try to find where this guy is in this just chaos up here, you can take a seek action until you find him. Or you could just try to stumble around, but you don't
No,
know how
I'll
well
take a
that's gonna...
seek
All right, so go ahead and now this will be a perception check.
Can
I'll
you-
go ahead and let you roll it.
We actually don't have the condition card for weekend, so
You
would you
don't
remind
have
me?
weakened condition card?
Yeah, we don't seem to
We
have
have one that
either.
says weekend and it just says sleep and party.
Party?
Yeah.
Hey,
it's
I mean,
odd.
if that's what you have,
Take it.
So you have to sleep right now.
Drunk.
While we're looking for that, we have a follow from Abel Brush. Thank you for following, Abel Brush. We have a gifted sub from the Real Pwnus 98, gifting a sub to Sir Quigley. Real Pwnus 98, I wanted to make a quick note for you. I believe that, without a doubt, you are the #1 gifting sub giver on the channel. And Jason Bowman is trying to take that title from you,
Yeah.
declaring himself the king of gifting subs on our channel. I think it's about time you went and told Jason Bowman what you thought of that.
also, he probably gave it to the wrong person because Ben himself said on Twitter that he's okay being Mr. Odely.
Oh, yeah, well, that's
So,
not, it's
I
obviously
don't
not
know
that.
who Sir Quigley
yeah,
is.
that's not.
But I think he gave it to Mr.
Before
Odely.
I take that seek. Instead, because I didn't do it yet. I didn't do it yet. You all started talking. We're waiting on a weekend condition card. But don't bother because
Enfeebled is the word that I was looking for. It was actually
great.
my
We
bad.
have
So
that
enfeebled
one.
is going to help you more than weakened will.
well,
Well, it won't help.
instead, Dark Knight just gifted me a mercy. So thank you, Dark Knight. Hero, Dark Knight over here.
Wow.
So does that mean I roll to try to get it?
So you are enfeebled 1. You can make a flat check using your mercy. The DC is 11 because it's 10 plus your enfeebled condition. So you can try 11 or higher on the die. Will just eliminate that condition.
All right, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Give me a second.
It's
I'll
gone
get it.
forever!
It's gone for. Oh my gosh!
Well, now, are you counting that roll, Kate?
It depends what it is.
It's also cracked under here, so it doesn't. You'd have to re-roll anyway.
All right.
She
the
cracked
box.
the D20?
Like a cracked
No,
die.
no, like it means it wasn't on a number. It was leaner.
Oh, a
Leaner.
Like fresh cracked
Alright.
pepper.
Right.
Oh God. Nope. Nope.
Still enfeebled.
That
No
would be a
mercy though.
4.
I like that.
4.
So, do you want to
Sorry,
take that
Dark
seek
Knight.
action now?
Can I? I thought I used up all my actions.
No, you climbed. Now you
Oh, you're
want
right.
to take a seek
yeah,
action.
yeah. I'll do a seek action.
Sure. Go ahead and make a. I'll let you roll it, even though normally a lot of these are secret.
No,
I'll go
you
ahead
should
and let
maybe
you-
roll it.
Go ahead and roll that perception check. See if you can
Try to
find
keep
this
it
guy.
in the box this time.
You know what? Left-handed rolling is
It's
difficult.
harder.
Oh, I almost jumped it out again. That's a 15.
15. You actually do spot the outline of a body lying about 20 feet away. That's 2 actions so far. You have a third.
He's become
That
an
was-
outline.
Sorry.
You
rolling,
climbed.
and then I did the.
Mercy is
Oh.
actually not an action to use. No.
Got it, okay.
No. Yeah.
Okay, then I will.
You make your
Move
way over
toward.
there, and you are standing over this guy's body. You can see he's not moving. You don't know what's going on, but it's Odaly's turn.
Is there anything I can find out about the fog without being inside of it?
Arcana.
All right.
Arcana me.
Arcana you.
Recalling knowledge is 1 action.
13.
13. You would guess that it's magically active, and that it is probably somewhat toxic, and that its effects are probably not deadly, but will last for a long time. So as not be
Forever.
trivialized.
Do I think, like, covering my face with a scarf would
Because
prevent me?
it's probably magical,
Probably-
magically charged, being
probably not.
exposed to it is enough.
All right. I will go to open the front door to the townhouse.
Luckily, Sly has already opened the front door.
Great.
Did
It's
that.
wide open. I'm going to start
did
going
that.
upstairs.
All right, you start making your way. You get to the back of the room. There's a set of stairs that lead up. You're like, okay, I'm gonna go and deal with this on my own time.
Yeah.
Grace.
Well, I mean, Grace sees Zakah go up just the side
Yeah.
of the building, and it looks dangerous up there, and Zakah might need help, so Grace is gonna follow her.
All right, that is an athletics check
One
to
person has
climb.
gone through the door that I opened. And while
I
you-
can't
Close it.
climb the side of the building.
Close it.
Thank you very much for
Athletics.
opening it.
Athletics.
Welcome.
Okay, here we go.
Oh yeah, we'll see
Oh,
what that
good,
was.
good. That's a
Ooh.
9. Total.
9. 9 is a failure, but not a critical failure. So basically, you're just like
Yeah.
you just can't make any progress. You're looking at it like.
Did she do this? This is so
Yeah.
hard. I'll go in the door, I guess.
So you could try again, or you could go through the door.
I'll go through the door.
Going through the door,
That
you just
seems
like you get
more
up to where
interesting.
Odaly is. Like, all right, nobody even saw you fail to climb. You're fairly certain because
That's how I like it.
you were in the blue haze, so you had concealment. Nobody could see.
Exactly.
Nobody could see what you were doing.
I know how to do this.
It is the end of the round, but there's one important thing I have to do. I have to make a dying check for our good friend on the ground.
God.
No.
I hope you
didn't
guys
get to-
act
Oh,
fast.
If he
I felt
dies,
so
you
close
think you'll
to
get your
it.
axes.
I want to use my edge on you.
Sink.
You mean sink?
Sink.
Wait, no, don't sink him.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's a -1 to him.
Oh,
Which
Yeah.
would make him die.
Oh, yeah. No.
So
Don't do that.
I actually rolled exactly what was necessary, but then Zakai used her sink, causing the
But
flat
technically
check.
I said
So
edge.
now he's
Technically,
at
first I
dying.
said edge.
At first
Now
you did
he's at dying 2, specifically because of Zakai.
Well, you know
I
what?
should keep
Wait,
going.
at first she said edge, then she said sink, so we'll take them both away and he's okay.
Actually, I rolled way low. I just wanted to make her feel bad. She had no effect on this.
Okay.
I rolled a 5, so
Oh, no.
he is now dying 2.
No.
but we don't know that.
You don't know that.
that.
I know that. I
He's
want the
fine.
fans
Why'd
to
you
know
tell
that.
us?
I want
He's
the fans to
fine.
know.
We'll plug our
I
ears
want the
next
fans to
Yeah.
know that you're screwing it up. It is now
my turn.
Sly's turn.
Sly is going to start his turn by reading this comment from No Nukes for Samuel, which says, I just stumbled on this stream while looking to scratch my tabletop itch. The setup looks great. Settles in.
Settle in, friend.
Welcome.
We have a lot to show you.
Welcome.
Thank you, thank you. Also, there's $10. Go ahead.
A mercy for me from Sarah BC1.
Mercy
Thank you.
on Odaly.
Hopefully I won't
Mercy.
die.
Sarah BC1 is making her presence known again. She's
Yes.
like, hey, I was kind of in the shadows before. I'm here. I'm letting you know. Welcome back, Sarah BC1.
Mr. Gildor.
Now, I would have seen the the explosion.
You could see- oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
yeah.
all of that. Okay, so I'm gonna just take my entire turn to not climb the wall.
Okay.
And go into and try and go up the stairs. But I want to make sure that before I get upstairs, there's the yellow smoke, and we had the yellow smoke in the last encounter where we were chasing the people. So I just remember yellow smoke being not good. So I want to pull my hood kind of over my mouth and nose as I get as far as I can go.
Gotta
Sounds
get
good.
past us now.
Sounds good. Quindon. Everybody has rushed into danger.
He watched Odalie go in.
Yes.
I mean, he's seen everybody else, but specifically Odalie, kind of jarring Quindon to be like, no, I gotta go. So he's gonna go in. He's gonna try to make his way through the house to the stairs and up. Conveniently enough, he held his breath the last time they went through yellow stuff, and it didn't seem to affect him. So he's gonna hold his breath again
Gotcha. Understood.
and head try to go as far as he can in 3
Sure.
actions.
Yeah, so those of you making your way through the house, it's a little bit longer of a process, but safer. You just go up the stairs and go in. So that still puts Zakai as the only person firmly embedded in the action. You're standing over this body. He doesn't look like he's doing very well. You need to make another fortitude save.
Yes, I do.
Better.
18 plus 6.
You're doing all right. You are doing just fine. But you now have 3 actions. What do you do?
I'm not good at healing. So, but I could still, if someone, would he be unconscious? I would assume.
Oh, he's not.
Can you,
yeah.
I don't know if it works the same, but can I give him a potion while he's unconscious, or does he have to be awake to drink it?
You can. The general rule of thumb for RPGs is that you can't choke to death on a healing potion. That way, people can administer them to you when you're in trouble. So yeah, you can do that if you'd like.
Oh, I was worried. I thought he was saying the general rule of thumb was this, but
I
just choke.
worse.
Right?
That's not real life.
So I'll give him a potion, 1d6.
Wow.
It's an elixir of life.
The old elixir of life.
1d6 plus 1.
Nice.
Sure.
2 plus 1, so 3.
Okay. But the important thing is that makes him not only it actually brings him to consciousness because you bring his hit points above 0. He is conscious, and he is no longer dying, though wounded.
I would like to either pick him up or
Sure.
help him up.
Yep.
But I think if I can pick him up and start to move toward the door to get, because I don't know if I want to try to scale the building holding him, even
Gotcha.
though it'd be cool. I want to do it, but
So
It's the
here's where we
fastest
are
way down.
with your actions.
I do have a rope.
You pull the potion out. You administered the potion. That's 2 actions. You
Okay.
pick this guy up. That's 3 actions. So you'll start next turn. You've got this guy on your shoulders, and you can proceed from there.
Cool.
Odalie, by the end of this round, you can get to the door to the roof. That's basically where you'll be, unless you want to try a different thing. But if you just want to keep going to get where you're going, then your turn would be getting to the door.
I think you overestimate my strength in that way, Sly.
Magically.
He's telling me to punch a hole through the ceiling.
Oh yeah. Just
Actually, as Sly runs by me and I see him pull his collar, jacket, whatever it is, over his mouth and nose, I'm gonna yell, "Probably not gonna help with this one. It's magic." And I will continue running.
continue running. You get to the stairs. Because you had actually run last time as well, I'll say that when you get to the top of the stairs, you do have another action if you want to open the door.
Yes, please.
Okay, and this one is not locked. So you open the door, yellow fog comes all over the place.
I see what you did there, Jim.
Yes, I baited you into this awesome moment.
He did.
So I could get you good, and I need you to make a fortitude save.
In the meantime, though, it's important to note, Delirious has donated $12, giving you a sink, as well as Sly. You both have a sink.
Thank you.
All right, let's see what this roll is going to be for fortitude. Well, that's a 15 on the die, plus 4 is 19.
Okay, you're okay. You're doing all right. After Odalie, it's Grace's turn.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna keep heading forward because, I mean, we can't see what's happening with Sakat, right?
No, currently, yeah, you're at the bottom of the stairs anyway, so.
So I would just use my full, however far I can get.
Sure, you can basically get up onto the roof since the door is now open. stepping out onto the roof causes you to roll a fortitude save against the toxic fog.
Hooray! Fortitude. What are you? Oh, that's not bad. That's 21.
Oh, you are doing just fine. Everybody is
It's all that alcohol.
powering through. Mr. Sly Gildor,
Yes.
top of the round. Oh, no, wait. No, he's not dying anymore. He's conscious and stable, so there's this guy now on your back. He's just coughing. Doesn't really do anything else.
So, I've had Odalie run past me, telling me this is magic. That's not gonna help.
Yeah.
I've heard her open the door.
Yeah.
My brain says, well, someone has to be here to guide everyone out.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Someone has to remain out of the danger. It might
Otherwise-
as well be you.
Might as well be me. So I think like I want to move like kind of at half speed and
Sure.
watch to where the yellow fog starts, and I'll
Yeah.
get to that point.
Sure. So you get about like there's a landing on the stairs before it turns up and it goes up the final flight. So you get to the landing. You're looking up. You can see Odalie's sort of coughing and but looking out into the fog. You see Grace has just rushed out onto the roof. The door's open, but you're safe where you are as long as you stay there.
Perfect. I will stay there then.
Stay in there. Wyndon.
Quinn's gonna go up the stairs because he saw Odalie go that way. She's at the top of the stairs,
Yes.
about to go into the yellow.
Yeah.
So he's gonna go run past her
Okay.
and say, "Don't worry, Lucky, I got this." And he's gonna go into the yellow, trying to hold his breath.
Sure. Make a fortitude
And,
save.
Yep. That feels right. I believe that I have something, don't I? I have an edge, so I will take the +1.
Taking the +1.
Oh!
All right.
Oh.
It's a 19 on the die,
Not that
so
you
I'm
needed
feeling
it.
all right.
Yeah.
That's 23.
Yep, that'll do it.
With
You're
the,
fine.
With the edge. Great. What do I see?
Make a seek action.
Okay. I will. I'll make a seek action. Is that just perception?
Yep.
Great. 16.
16. You can see there's some forms. You can kind of make out Grace, and you can distinguish Zakah because she's actually got another figure over her shoulder, so you can tell who's who.
Okay. Do they seem to be in distress?
Not that you can tell.
I will move up to them, I
Okay.
think, to see if
Sure.
I can help in any way.
Sure.
And
Okay.
I will. I assume that's all three of my actions, but if
Yeah.
it isn't, then I would offer an aid action to try to help carry him. Though I doubt Zakah.
That'll take us to Zakah's turn. You see Quindon sort of rushes up to you. What do you do?
I'd like to make for the stairwell down.
Sure. Because your friends came out of the door, you can tell where they came from, so you don't have to really seek out the door. You can just sort of stumble towards it. Within 2 actions, you can get to where Sly is, now below the level of the fog. Out of it, safely.
You didn't have me roll a fortitude save, should I?
Sure. Should have to roll fortitude save. Sounds good to me.
Had a follow from Karadunos and Onage Games 52. Thank you so much for the follows, guys.
19.
19.
You're fine.
Woo!
You're doing really well now. Odalie, you're still standing in that fog, but
Yep.
Zakah has rushed past you. Some of your friends have rushed past you the other way, up into the mist. What do? Close the door on him, lock it, leave him to die?
Before I do that,
Yes.
curious question for you, Jim.
Yeah.
How strict are you on the rules for prestidigitation?
That depends on what you want to do and how fun it is.
May I tell you what I'd like to do and why I think it works?
I would love to hear your...
Okay. According to the rules of Pathfinder 2nd Edition, I can tidy with prestidigitation. I think, you can quick movement of the hands, prestidigitation. You might dust something with your hand. I would like to use that motion to try to spread the fog so it's less affecting us. kind of clear some of that out of the way.
So if you're standing
Waft
in
it.
like a fog bank,
Uh-huh.
and you start going like this, does the fog really disperse anywhere?
It's moving away from me.
Make a fortitude save.
Well, I know that, but I'm okay with the fortitude save, but I'd like to start clearing
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna say
possible.
there's just too much.
Okay.
Currently. A more powerful spell, like a gust of wind or something, would do what you want.
I don't know if you realize this, Jim, but we're just level 1.
Oh,
That's an 11 on the die, 15 for fortitude.
15. You're okay. Either way, whether you press to digitate or not, you at least are okay.
So Quindon is still on the roof. Zaka
Yes.
has run past me.
Yes.
Can I hold my last action? Or does it have to be all 3 in 1?
So you can ready an action, but
Okay.
readying an action takes 2 actions.
Got it. Okay, then I am just gonna stand here and wait for Quindon to come back. I'll yell to him to come back down the stairs.
Sure.
Out of the
Providing
danger.
sort of an auditory beacon for your friends to follow. Grace, you're up in the fog now, but then you hear Odaly's voice telling you to come back. What do you do?
I will do that.
Okay.
I mean, can I take one moment to just kind of do a quick look around and see if there's anything that would behoove me to take?
Yeah, make you a seek action.
Okay.
I'm gonna take this machine.
I'm gonna take the whole thing.
I like this room.
See, wait, where's
Just come with me.
These shingles are nice.
Yeah, perception.
Maybe this is where you get
Yeah.
the AED, you know, just in case, like someone's unconscious.
15.
15. You see that nearer to the machine, there are still a couple crystals on the ground, and you can see them because they're glowing very faintly, and they're very, very beautiful. And you have to think that they're probably worth a couple of scales, maybe.
I'll definitely grab those.
Okay. So you seek, you move over, you pick up the things. That puts you at the end of your round, and then you can
Okay.
make a fortitude save.
Which is tougher because these crystals are meant to kill you.
That is 14.
14?
Yes.
Okay.
Maths.
You're all right.
Have you seen Chernobyl?
You're okay for now. It is the top of the next round. Sly, you can see that Zaka and your target are safe at least, though some of your companions are not yet. If you have anything you want to do, you can hold, you can delay, you can ready an action.
I think I would like to help, like, take the load from Zaka. You know,
Sure.
she's carrying the whole body, so I think I don't know if I would just grab like the legs if you've got him slung over. Like
I pictured that he's like a
fireman.
Yeah,
kid.
I'm like, I don't know, maybe you could
like a
aid-
scarf?
I feel like she'd be way too into just moving
Yeah,
to
I mean, she
to
looks
wanna
like
help,
she's got
to
it
get help.
handled. Yeah.
Okay. I will ready. I want to hold here and make sure now, like, because I want to still be the
Yeah.
point where people can check in, and I
Yeah.
want to see people get out.
That's totally fine. Quindon.
I saw Grace run the other way.
Yeah. She moved deeper into this stuff.
Yeah, Grace, it's this way. And I go to see if she's lost.
Sure. Make first a seek to find her in the fog. Then we'll make a fortitude save first. Then seek her
okay.
out.
Okay.
Then we'll see where we go from
Okay.
there.
Oh, God, is that you call that a leaner?
Oh.
I would actually call that a leaner.
Yeah.
That was so.
That's a sad
Hey,
Sad
hey, let
leaners.
nobody say that I won't call them leaners when they're leaners.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's
well, you know you gotta count
That
that.
one's gone.
You gotta count that. Wherever
Need
it is.
help.
mine. I bumped mine.
Dice.
You want me to
Wherever
get
it
it?
is.
Dice trouble.
I see a
Oh, it's a
four.
leaner.
You would
No,
call
that's
that
a leaner.
Left hand.
Hold on.
Oh my
Here I go.
Everyone hold, stop for
All right, hang on,
dice.
I gotta get new dice.
Wait,
I can get it.
No, I gotta get new dice.
Jamie's already under the
already
table.
under the
Oh my
table.
All right, hang on. Jamie, is it a leaner?
Thank you.
It is.
Yeah, I call it a leaner. All right, here we go. Huh. All right, that's 15.
15. You spot Grace in the fog. Looks like she's bent down to pick up these little glowing bits of
Jamie.
crystal.
Thanks, everybody. Okay, are you all right?
Yeah, look what I found. I thought it might be helpful or it
Those
was
are
something.
really cool.
Buddy?
Knowledge Arcana.
So far, the rescue mission in the tower is going great.
Right?
I don't know whether to call that one a leader now. I don't think so. I'm gonna
No,
call that
that's
one I'm gonna call that.
That's that.
That's a 15.
15. Probably not really much now except bubbles, but you can sell them. Did you make your fortitude save?
Yeah, that was what I rolled the first one for.
That was then.
You told me to roll fortitude before I rolled the perception.
Okay.
So call that one the perception,
Gotcha.
15.
Either way.
Or whatever you want to do.
Whatever.
I'll roll the perception.
You're
that
there.
way.
The point, it's more important at this point, just keeping track of action. So, you found her, you moved, recall knowledge. There's 3 actions for you.
Yeah, and I just finish it up by saying, come on, we gotta get out of here.
Absolutely. Zakai,
But bring those.
you can just continue out onto the street, or you know that your friends are up above. Is there anything else that you want to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to this guy because he's conscious.
Sure, yeah.
I still want to be. I want to be
Yeah.
talking to him while he's on my shoulders, so
Yeah,
he
yeah.
can't escape me.
Uh-huh.
And I ask him what his name is.
It's Mesric.
Mesric.
Mesric, yeah. Thank you for coming to get me. I guess it's real lucky that you found, that you came. I guess my brother was right.
I lower him down, and I say to him, once my friends come down from here, if they're safe, will you lead us to your brother's house?
Yeah, I'll do that. That's fine.
Thank you. And then I will stand there and not take my eyes off him.
Okay.
And I'll have like an awkward, just like a
Yeah.
hand on him at all times.
An awkward hand on him at all times. Totally. Do you have anything that you'd like to do? Are you good?
I'm just gonna wait until everybody's
Just-
out, then I'll shut the door and peace out.
We're just waiting. Grace, Gwendon has joined you.
Yeah.
You've got these things. You pocket them, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and make a fortitude save.
Hooray! Oh, that's an 11.
An 11. Okay. You're starting to feel the toxic fog is getting to you, and you are enfeebled 1.
Okay.
But you do have your 3 actions.
I mean, I think I would just try to get down.
Sure.
That's
Now that
fine.
you guys are both so deep in the fog, finding your way back might be a little bit more of a challenge. You'll need to make a seek action to see if you can find your way back to the door.
Okay.
It's very disorienting up here, especially now that you've been affected by the fog.
That is 19.
Despite the dizzying sensation, you are not. It's not too hard to sort of trace your route right back to where you came. You get to the door itself. So that's one action to seek, 1 action to move there. You got 1 left. You can basically just get down out of the fog and be safe if you'd like, or you could wait for Quindon, or you can do whatever you want.
I mean, I imagine this is something where we're both, as long as he's moving with me, I would probably go on to safety.
Cut the next round. Anything for me, Sly?
I'm gonna yell up the stairs, is everything all right? Because the person we're here for is out of the building. Where are we?
Wait, come on. I got some shiny things that are worth something, I think.
She got shiny things!
I got shiny
Get
things.
off the roof!
Quindon.
I try to follow Grace.
Because
Best I can.
they're now that everybody's like shouting back and forth, you can just follow the sounds. You sort of follow Grace right along. Zakai, do you have anything that you need to do? Quindon, I need a fortitude save from you.
Ah!
Almost got me.
Ooh, I'm gonna not do that. I'm gonna go ahead and turn in this guy right here.
hero point.
Hero points. Because even if I'm gonna fail that check, I'm not gonna critically fail it.
Gotcha.
That's the hope, at least, right?
Can't your hero point just heal you?
No, it doesn't get rid of a condition for you.
Yeah, it's if you're dying, you can
Gotcha.
use it to stabilize.
Well, I still failed the check, but it wasn't a critical fail. It's a 9.
A 9, yes, indeed. You are enfeebled 1, but it's not a critical failure,
Great,
so
great,
it's
great,
not
great.
worse.
Yeah. Awesome.
I take slight offense to the art of enfeebled because that's what my bicep looks like when I flex.
Aw.
Look, I'm trying, guys.
Zakai, anything? Do you have any other actions you want to take, or are you just waiting
I'm
for your
literally
companions
just
to get
waiting
down?
for them
Okay.
to come down.
Odalie, I assume you're still just sort of in a holding pattern, waiting for your companions to get out of the fog.
Yep, ready to close that door.
Because that's totally necessary.
Grace,
I closed door.
Quindon has caught up to you. What do you do?
We should go. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's just stuff just got to me.
All right, well, let's go this way. If I can
that way.
Get,
Yeah, I mean,
right, this way.
you're right. I
Once
just
I
wanted to make
get-
sure that there wasn't anything else you wanted to do. 'Cause
Once
at
I
this
get
point,
up-
if you're ready to just bolt forward, well,
Yeah, I want to get out the door and go, look what I found.
sure.
But then, yes.
So you guys both sort of rush back down the stairs. Odalie slams the door shut behind you. You are all safe now from the fog, though you are still enfeebled.
I feel
You are-
weak. Yeah.
you're feeling weak if that's the case. However, Grace found some shiny things, and you have successfully rescued Mesric from his own folly. You can see when you get to the bottom of the stairs that he's sort of like looking at the ground. He feels kind of bad. He's still a little like bruised and battered, but at least he's alive, which he certainly would not have been if you hadn't shown up.
What are you building up there?
Well, it's just I wanted to be able to measure the effects of the ash on the other ambient magic that's already in the air, and I wanted to see if there was any measurable difference, but it's very, very sensitive because the amount of enchantment in the ash is like a drop in the bucket compared to a lot of the stuff they're already using, so I need to make sure that the instrument was very, 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 very sensitive, and I think I made it too sensitive, and it actually caused some, and a lot of it, I think, I'm sorry.
You could have killed yourself.
Well,
And you have family out there who obviously care about you.
And there's a high-level necromancer who's probably dying because we took time out of this to come help you.
I didn't mean for anybody to get hurt. I just thought I'm sorry.
No, I think what you're doing is really important. Honestly, y'all are all a little on edge here, but that's pretty cool.
All right,
Yeah.
no, that's cool. Also, he almost died. All right, you got a point.
Also,
Well,
maybe
see, it's fine though because when I do it again, this time I know exactly how to calibrate the mithricite core that I'm using so that it doesn't pick up the interference from the ash, and so next time it's going to go just fine.
Great. Well,
Alright.
before this next time, why don't you lead us to your brother?
Yeah. Let's go. Takes you onward. It takes about a half an hour before you reach another house.
Necromancer's dead.
He goes right up to the door, knocks on it. You're all sort of standing there watching this happen.
Where are we? Are we still in Fog Downs?
No, you
We're on
you
the-
had just crossed into the border of Seven Towers.
Seven Towers.
This takes you back out into Fog Downs, so you actually have to backtrack a little bit to get to where
Okay.
this guy's brother lives. But for too long, a man who's clearly older, but you can sort of tell has a family resemblance to Mesric, opens the door. They're some heated discussion before Mesric kind of looks back at the rest of you and waves, and then heads into the house. This guy looks out and sees you, and he sort of gives you the old 1 minute, closes the door, comes back out onto the street, sort of bundled up, but he's got this huge, axe in his hands. He can barely hold it. Waddles up to the group of you and hands it to you, Zakai. He says, "Terribly sorry. I know it was wrong to keep it, but I got so excited, and then all this happened, and I had to think of my brother." And I can't afford your services, so I thought of the only other thing that I could do that might get you to help him for free. I'm sorry.
Us playing with fire.
I don't take kindly to bribery, but I am grateful. Thank you for allowing us to find a way to help. And in the future, why don't you just ask?
Yeah, I think maybe that's the best.
I grab my great axe.
You have your great axe
Can I
back.
get some music? Yay! And then I put my great axe away.
And then you put your great axe away, so you don't lose it again so
Wow.
easily. A happy ending.
well, I think
To your
that's
tale.
lunch, everyone.
Oh, lunch, I like that idea.
I'm quite
It's your
famished
union
myself.
mandated break time, so you all sit on the street, eat your lunch.
Wait, we're not gonna go to
Brendan's
the
like,
bar?
I think you ever eaten that ash earlier? He's still
Yeah.
like, make sure you can still taste things. But we definitely eat lunch.
Definitely lunch. You could definitely still taste things. But what do you do after that? You've recovered your axe, which I will just, as a quick aside, mention that was part of the patron voted on side quest. They decided what would happen to your axe. Patrons are can vote on polls to sort of affect the story of the game, and they decided they wanted you to go on a little side quest to get your axe back. So
Thank you.
big shout out to the patrons for that idea.
Thank you, patrons. Thank you. Sorry,
No, to be fair, one of the options was just that somebody just gave it back to you. So they did decide
true.
that you had to work for it.
That's fine. It was fun, and I enjoyed it. It was nice, so thank you.
And we're excited to go find out that the necromancer probably died in the meantime.
He's
you know
probably
what?
dead because of this, but
Reading
you know what?
the paperwork from him, he's probably happy about it.
Which you can read the paperwork on Patreon.
That's true. Go to Patreon. You can download
Is there a
paperwork right
thing
now.
that says we have to bring him back alive?
Right, he is a necromancer.
You are specifically tasked with retrieving him from a dangerous situation and bringing him to safety.
What does he consider
But
life?
Right, and dangerous, right? That's a bit different.
Alive does actually have a very specific legal definition, and undead is outside of alive.
How long does this last?
You're not sure, but it's still going.
Well, at least I didn't critically fail it.
Hey, at least you
I
ain't crit-
mean, technically, we're being sent to ensure the safety of a valued client.
ensure the safety.
much
Yeah,
you
but
can
sure
But
it
he's
is.
the only person in this building.
Well, as
We
far as
don't
know.
The only
that.
person that you are tasked with finding.
is the one we've neglected.
It
There's an
does
important
say,
legal distinction.
Yes.
My question is, what if there's like also a baby that seems to be in danger? We should help that baby.
But
right?
only if it's a baby.
Only?
Yeah, if it's like 5,
It doesn't count.
yeah, it's gotta
It
just
can walk
fend
on
for itself.
on its own.
Yeah.
as far as him being the only person in the building, it does say magical monitoring and private security staff personnel should be considered non-hostile agents, and strict rules of engagement are in effect.
Wait, are we supposed to fight them?
No, we're
no,
not supposed to fight
No,
it.
not fight them, but what I'm saying is it makes it sound like they're ready to fight us. But why?
They're supposed to be non-hostile.
Are we breaking him out of jail?
Yes.
All right.
Now we are.
I'm gonna
First, we have to get him to a jail. Then we have to break him
break him
out.
out.
Barrier 75 asks the important question: how old is this baby?
Who knows?
We haven't found it yet.
Impossible to tell.
Indeterminate age.
So what are we doing next?
I mean,
Are we heading on?
Zaka's pumped because she's got her great axe back, and she's just like happy and excited, and she's like, let's do this.
Let's do this.
yeah.
So you have to backtrack once again. Get yourselves back into the Seven Towers district. However, from there, it isn't long before you find yourselves in front of the Postmortal Services offices. This office is marked by a large plaque in the facade of this brick and mortar structure. The streets here are cracked and broken, and the whole area is in disarray, as if a giant had gotten drunk and thrown a party. It is quite clear that the shockwave from the blast was strong enough to wreak havoc, even though you're 3, maybe even 4 miles from the exploded building. The front entrance to the offices is blocked by smashed remains of a statue that used to stand in the grass divider on the street. It would be the work of hours to clear away the smashed stone and crumbled bricks, and that's hours you'd spend in the swirling dust, and hours your client remains trapped in the midst of unknown dangers. So what do you do? You could attempt to find some other way to... You just know that the front door has been collapsed. I believe that the document stipulates there is a
mentions-
secondary entrance. However, you could also even try to find some other way to access the building.
Yeah, the paperwork says there's a secondary entrance that's a service and cadavery delivery door on the south face of the building.
That sounds like just an awful place to start a journey.
Let's do it.
No, man, at all. I want to really quick. I want to like take a quick moment just to look around
Yeah,
to see
absolutely.
if there's any other way in here.
So I'll make a little perception check for you in secret. Let's see
secret
what you
ones.
notice. Oh. Okay, you notice maybe 2 options for you.
Perfect.
The windows of this building are designed not to open. They're those really tall, narrow ones. But you notice that they're not barred. and they don't have that like security screen in them.
Mm.
So if you wanted to just smash through one, provided it's not magically reinforced, probably not too difficult.
Mm-hmm.
You could also climb up the east side of the building. There is a collapsed section of wall that if you just climbed up to it, you could just scamper on in.
While he's looking at that, has there ever been a Mithrasite explosion before?
No, this is an unprecedented event.
Okay, yeah. Quinn's probably thinking a whole lot about that now that he
Yeah.
realizes it's real and is trying to process how that could affect things. Just think about that.
Sure.
So Sly sees this wall that we could go over.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at Zakar and he's like, well, seeing as you're keen to climbing today, he grabs his rope and a grappling hook.
Yeah.
And fashions it and launches it up there.
Sure. Go ahead and make a ranged attack. See if you
attack.
hook anything.
That looks fun.
Ooh, that's a 10 on the dice plus 7 is 17.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you easily just ka-ching, hook it onto a piece of the collapsed wall, and you're like, okay, you're gonna get up there. You're fairly certain it's secure.
Okay.
I would smile at Sly and say, good eye. And then I
Sure.
be the first one up that rope.
That's going to be an athletics check from Zakah. The rest of you can see Zakah's just like making her way up this rope.
18.
What's that?
18.
Easily. I mean, you're just like at the top of the wall now, looking down. This is what you were built for. I don't know so much about Odalie though.
Oh, I should
Who's looking up there
Wait,
like,
I go back down and I
No, I can do it on my own. Thank you. Oh, am I actually doing it on
Yeah,
my own?
I mean, you can. I mean,
My
somebody else
next
can
in
do it.
line?
but
The
yeah.
rope steady so that it's not waving a lot. Would that make it easier for people?
Not really. There's really no way for you to aid somebody climbing up like this. The rope itself is kind of the aid that's gonna make
Gotcha.
the DC a lot lower.
Cool.
I guess I'm second.
Second.
Well, you've got people down here to catch you.
Oh boy. That is a total of 6.
A total of 6. You get about 15 feet off the ground before your arms start to like shake, and you haven't fallen, but you haven't made it to the top, and you know that this is scary. You all can see her sort of like faltering about halfway up.
You okay, Lucky?
All right, well, I can climb up and help.
Nope.
I could probably
Pull
pull
her
her
up.
from the top. Could I
yeah.
attempt that?
Zakah's just like pulling the rope, and suddenly everything's moving. Make another athletics check to see if you can hold on to the rope as this whole thing just starts going out of your control.
Okay, 15.
Okay, so you just cling onto the rope for dear life, and Zakah like hauls you up the rest of the way.
Was it one-handed like
and you can now like get onto the surface safely. You sort of like
Yeah.
roll over.
Look what I caught, Paul.
I definitely roll over and like, and then I just look at Zakah and say, "Told you I could do it on my own."
And I'm just like, yeah, and I throw it back down.
So who's next?
I'll go. I'll climb up. Like, really, I'm going to do it real well. I'm just
Super
going
good.
to jump right up there.
If you are enfeebled, remember that I believe that affects your athletics check.
Looks
So
like it
yours
does.
on Hero Lab is probably already accounted for.
It is. Ooh, but I still got a 21.
Oh yeah, no problem for you. No problem for you. You scamper up the rope. I mean, this is something. Like, this
More
is
proud of
like
myself.
you just do this all the time on ships. Like this is your life is climbing,
Exactly.
rigging, and
I
ropes.
just decided not to do it at that other building.
Right, you just didn't want
I
to
just didn't
before.
want to.
And now all the girls are up there and we pull the rope up.
It's my rope.
Who's going next?
Not anymore.
I'll let you go.
Oh, yeah. POTUS has given me another edge due to my ongoing bravery and leadership.
Ongoing bravery and leadership.
Yeah, I'm still
Glean
going to hang on to
athletics.
that. I'm going to hang on to that edge.
Glean
though.
Hey, feeling confident that you won't need it on this one.
Oh, very confident. Very enfeebled. So, adding my -1 to this would mean a 6. So I get about 15.
You get about halfway up, and you're like, oh, Totally was right. This is not easy. This
Lucky,
is
you were
very
right.
scary.
You were
Wait. Can I just? Do you have a +0?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So do
I'm
I.
enfeebled
So
to
I-
a -1.
I do
I'm sorry,
as
I'm
well,
just really
guys.
happy that I have a better athletics than somebody at the table.
I roll my eyes and I start to try
My
to pull
armor.
him.
Sure. Make a check to hold on to the rope.
Nope.
8. It's a very low DC for this one because all you're trying to do is hold on. So you do manage to hold on, and like you get to the edge, and Zakai has to like lean down and like haul your legs up onto the.
Oh, I'm upside down. She holds my legs.
But you do manage to safely get onto it, leaving Sly as the only person down on the ground level still.
Wonderful.
It was because of that smoke.
You're welcome.
So this is straight dice roll right here. Alrighty.
You're also great at.
Oh gosh,
these
no!
type of
I
rolls,
made
huh?
it less than all of them. That's a 5.
Oh,
5.
Wait.
Reach all the way.
Can I burn this now?
Or
is this a
that is for
before?
a save. Diamonds are for save. If you look at your
Oh,
chart.
that's right. It's on
gonna-
save.
yeah.
It's just a check.
Jim,
Wait,
diamonds are forever.
could this be acrobatic? in ways.
Yeah, I believe you can use acrobatics.
Now that
for
you're
climbing
upside
if you're
down, it
dexterous.
can be.
Then it would be an 11.
An 11, which, because of the rope, is actually a success. So you managed to
Ooh.
get up to it. It was normally a DC 15, but because of the rope, we reduced the DC.
Boom.
You did good. Good work, Sly. You all managed to get to the
Thank
top of this.
Oh, that could have been
breakable-
acrobatics.
You are.
That would have been better.
I believe it can be acrobatics. I have to double check.
It
but
will
I
be
believe-
now.
You are now inside the building on the second floor. What do you do?
So do we just like call out for him?
You're basically on this outer hallway now. You can see that there's a stair. It's almost like that there's a stairwell nearby that'll take you down deeper into the building. There are a couple of offices around, but most of them look dark and smashed. You actually do see a couple of bodies in some of the since most of the, like a large section of this building is collapsed. You see that there are a couple bodies in the room,
Do we know what
not moving.
it looks like? Or like is there any description in there?
Do we all see that?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty obvious.
Okay, I
Lots of
would
people
go
did
in there
not.
to try to go see if I can help any of those.
Sure.
people.
I mean, it's almost immediately apparent. Like these people did not survive the collapse of the wall that let you in here.
In the meantime, I've coiled up his rope and
Sure.
grapple, and I
if I can
Thank you.
gotta look out for each other.
bring any of them to a more restful position, I would
Kind
do
of like
that.
do the closed eyes thing.
Well, just if they're just sort of just
Yeah.
pulled into the middle of the room, if I can. Obviously,
Yeah.
some of them are probably under some rubble, and I may make more of a mess, so I won't want to
Yeah.
do too much.
You do your
but-
best to at least if somebody comes after, if there's like a cleanup crew, they'll at least spot them and be able to remove them from the building safely. And it's a good thing to do. Sure.
Jim,
Yes.
this SOS beacon was just sent to the HEI headquarters. We don't have like a physical beacon that we're
make
following.
no, you don't have a physical thing, but I'll allow you to make an Arcana check to see if you can recall exactly how this works.
Alrighty. Let's see.
Deadman 5256 has followed,
Woohoo!
and
Vriken!
Vriken?
Vriken!
Vriken.
Vryakan!
Vryakan.
That's a cool.
Real
one.
POTUS
I like
gifted to Grumpy Hoosier. And cheers from Sarah BC1. I'm in for life. Duchess of Dinos, Crossbones, AE, and Jay Womack 94. Thank you so much for the cheers. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for watching the show.
That's a 15 on Arcana.
You know that typically if somebody has a security package with HEI, they carry some kind of talisman that if they can activate in the event of a disaster
It's
that they
life
need
alert?
rescued
Right.
from. But it does not give precise locations. It doesn't give any additional information.
it.
It's literally just a beacon that says, come help.
Okay.
Life alert.
So
Yeah.
we don't even really know if this guy is still alive or not. We just
No
know.
idea. You at least because it is you have to actively use the item, the
Oh, okay.
talisman, so you know that at least at the time that he activated it, he was alive.
Okay.
1/2 hour ago.
Do we see a
That's
clear path to go toward, or
Looking around, you see that most of the area up here looks to be like empty offices that don't like. There's nothing up here that really strikes you, and you would guess that you probably want to get down to the ground floor via the stairwell.
Okay, then I would be searching for the stairwell and
Sure, yeah, you find that easily.
I hope we don't have to take a rope down.
No.
I will warn Quentin, though, as he is laying out people in restful positions to, just in case, check for talismans.
Yeah. I'll check the bodies.
Keep an eye out.
And we also had more cheers coming in from Crossbones,
Ooh.
a barrier 75, as well as another follow from Genghis Galahad. Thank you so much, everybody. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you don't find anything of use that strikes you, and certainly nothing like what you're describing. No talismans, no magical items.
Am I already down on the ground? Did I already go down the stairs to move
No.
these bodies?
Nope.
No.
You guys are all. Nobody has moved out of that initial space that you crawled into yet. So.
What's the name of that the guy you were looking for?
Dornell Gage?
Dornell
Gage.
Gage. I'll just yell it.
Mr. Gage!
Are you? Do you need help?
Besides the obvious destruction of this area, does anything feel odd? Like, would that just be like a perception check, or like, does anything feel more dangerous than what is happening?
No, I mean you don't get any particular like no. It's I mean aside from the fact that it's quiet, like everything feels odd. The whole city feels odd now. I mean that but aside from that, there's nothing extra that you get a sense of as you're looking around.
Piggybacking off of that, is there any sensation that we've gotten that is different outside of just adrenaline and excitement and all that?
Not except for the fog itself, that toxic fog that you were
Yeah,
exposed to is the
okay.
only thing that's actually caused you to feel anything differently.
Okay. Detecting magic would be a mess.
Has the ash come down in this area, or
Especially near the collapse, there's some inside the building, yeah.
would we notice any footsteps going through it?
Make a survival check.
Is there any light in here?
Not except what's coming in through the windows naturally.
10.
10, yeah, you don't think anything has moved through here recently. But you guys have tromped around the room so much now at this point, you're like, well, if there were any tracks,
Yeah.
we would have messed them up already.
I turn to everyone and I say, I think we have to go down the stairs. We have to keep moving through to see if we can find him.
It's the top
Quentin-
floor.
This is the top
Second.
floor.
Okay.
So you,
Quentin makes some big motions, just absurdly huge, and a little bit of light pops up. It just sort of floats there, and it's sort of like almost changing colors. And if you were to stare at it, you might think maybe it looked like a butterfly or something, but it's just a light.
I love it.
When
I love it when you do that.
first cast the spell, everybody, you are all sort of caught off guard by a momentary intensity in the light, and it's almost blinding at first, but it very, very quickly reduces back down to what you're used to. But at first, that first split second, it's almost blindingly bright, and then it readjusts itself.
I'm gonna test that theory. I look at everybody, I say, that doesn't normally happen. Hang on. And I do another big motion and it dismisses.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, everybody, prepare your eyes. I do it again. Does it? Another
So,
big
so
flash?
this time there are it's almost like looking at a blur. There's 3 butterflies that very quickly mesh into one, and then the light sort of stabilizes. It's not any brighter, but at first it's almost like 3 different images that then
Glean
coalesce.
lore 3 different images.
That's not a thing.
All right, probably knowledge arcana.
Arcana?
Yeah.
Is
Arcana
this,
check.
just knowledge arcana.
May I roll as well?
Sure,
on
yeah.
that?
If you got Arcana trained, you can make an Arcana check.
18, because that is not influenced by my enfeebled condition.
Okay.
Thank you
21.
very much.
21. You both are kind of wondering if the blue mist, you couldn't quite recall what it was about it, but then you seem to, remember, it does have something to do with the intensity of magic. It can be helpful and also sometimes a little dangerous when the mist sort of overtakes the city. Either that or it's being amplified by the ash, but you were told that has no effect, so it's really difficult. With everything happening, you just don't have a sterile environment to test your theories.
But there's no way. I look at her and I say, no way to tell what's going to happen, is there?
Do you think you
think
could
so.
use the ash and do bigger things with it?
Maybe sometime, but
Right, we should,
probably not right now.
Oh, all right, yeah, that's a good point. We should find that guy.
Dolores!
This way.
Darnell! Darnell!
I start going down the stairs.
You start making your way down the stairs. It's a very sparse stairwell. It's not lit at all. So luckily, Quindon has light. You get down to the first level. You can actually see. You get to this landing, and Zakai, you're first in line. Everybody's trailing behind you, and you can see the door that will lead you out onto the first floor hallways. But you also see a body just inside the door. Definitely dead, pool of blood. But you see this weird winged creature next to the body, and it's like dancing around it, and it's hopping about, and it occasionally it stops, and it just like shudders and twists, and then it climbs up onto the body, and it shudders again, and it's clearly like spazzing out. But then its eyes, it turns like 4 times up towards the light, and then it just and lunges up into the air right at you. But we're gonna take a break right now. Yes, we are gonna take a break because that's what we do at the halfway point. To all of you watching, we will be back in 10 minutes or so. See ya. Tech, get us out of here.
Disclaimer, this is a completely unprepared, I didn't get any of the questions beforehand, so this is gonna be great. This is gonna be a really good interview, and I am gonna say all the things. So I'm Crag, and my new character is Hogan Grayskull for season 3 of Dragons and Things. Or am I Eric Raddick? Or Crag? I'm Eric. So I'm Eric Raddick, or Crag. Crag or Eric? What do you think? But now I'm Hogan Grayskull. So that's all in the past now. And now my new character is Hogan Grayskull for Dragons and Things season 3. So I think I feel good about that. What can I tell you about Hogan Grayskull? So when figuring out the character for Dragons and Things season 3, I wanted to get as far away from Crag as I could. So obviously clothes. As many clothes as I could put on my body. That is a big part of Hogan Grayskull. Also, trying to go complete opposite, which would be a magic user. So choosing a cleric, I think, was a big thing. I'm not going to go wizard. Nobody wants to be a wizard. Nobody likes wizards. They're annoying. Clerics are okay. I don't know, divine magic. So I chose that. What the hell? You mean, like, what the hell? Why not? I went with black. I feel like this season, from what I understand of the story of the season, it's going to be darker, if that's possible, because I feel like Dragons and Things is pretty dark. Jim puts us in a pretty dark world, but I feel like this season's a little darker. So I feel like, yeah, this guy's all dressed in black. He's going to be a very likable guy. I feel like my party members are really going to warm up to Hogan Grayskull pretty quickly. I mean, he's the cleric after all. He's going to be healing their asses. So they have to like him, right? And he's just there to help in any way he can. He's just there to help everybody out. I'm really bad at names. I'm really bad at naming characters. It's a difficult thing. I had to name 2 kids. It was one of the most difficult things I had to do in my life. I mean, you're giving person their identity. So there was a name being thrown around now for most of this last season of Dragons and Things. When people found out it was the last season, Lucas Martinez was thrown around Hogan Grayskull. He's like, well, Eric's new character, Hogan Grayskull this, Hogan Grayskull that. And I was like, yeah, Hogan frickin' Grayskull. That's the name. So that's the name I went with. It's just easy, it was already there. And it's a pretty frickin' cool name too. And in no way does it have anything to do with Hulk Hogan or He-Man. No way affiliated with those things at all. I'm Eric Raddick. And what do you want me to say? I'm Eric Raddick, and
Eric Radic, you can catch me on Dragons and Things Fridays on Twitch.
all right. I'm Crag. I mean Eric Raddick, and you can catch me on Dragons and Things on Fridays on Twitch.
I am Jamie Mills, and in season 3 of Dragons and Things, I will be playing Odalie. So Odalie is a halfling witch, and she has a familiar, a spider named Draven. Odalie's personality, she's not quite bubbly, but she enjoys playing tricks on people. That's how she makes her money, really. And I worry, everybody in our group is so serious and is combat oriented, and Odalie is just gonna be like, okay, have fun. And I have a feeling at some point somebody's going to probably confront her about being more there for them in combat, but we'll see how that goes. She does have halfling feet, but she wears shoes to hide them. A lot of her charm comes from the fact that she looks like a kid and that nobody really knows her true age, which she will never reveal. And I think for her, she always wears her hair in pigtails, and she really leans into that so people like and trust her more, and she's able to get information or money or whatever she wants from them with that trust. So she's not quite the best of all people, but she's not upset about it. So on Dragons and Things, I've played Clarette, who was a half-elf bard, and Arissa, who is an Aasimar war priest, and I really wanted to play Odalie as a halfling witch because I think it would be really fun. Usually when you think about a witch, it's somebody older or outcast and ugly, deformed. Something is not right with them. And this is just a halfling who looks like a kid. And you would pass her on the street and think nothing of it. But she has been contacted by her patron, it passed through her family. And I think it's gonna be really fun to play with that weird idea that not all witches look the same, not all witches are the same. So Odalie is not native to Vantam. She came a couple of years ago and tried to kind of stake her fame, fortune here in Vantam, and she's done what her family has taught her, fortune telling, and she has kind of leaned into that, especially with some of the higher ups in the city, and she has a few clients that depend on her to go with them to speeches or meetings or help me with this day, and she does, and she makes things happen for them. But of course, she still takes clients, you know, in the middle and lower classes as well. But her main goal in Vantam would be to end up in the district with the academy and to end up with all of the academics and the knowledge and all of the books. She would die to be there, almost literally, and just to have more knowledge and know more than everyone else. And I think that is what really drew her to Vantam. Hi, I'm Jamie, and you can catch me on the DaT network, Tuesdays on Twitch.
I'm Megan Caves, and I am joining the Dragons and Things Season 3 cast, which I'm very excited about, and I will be playing Grace Holiday. So she is a fighter, and I went with her to be an archer. So she's kind of like, I don't know, I think if somebody looked at her, they'd be like, she's a ranger, isn't she? But no, she's a fighter. And she's kind of a mix between, in her fighting style, between Gimli and, Doc Holliday, very different fighters. But she likes to make it a contest and figure out how many people she can take out. So she's pretty quick. She's agile. She likes to be up like really high and then shoot people from far. She likes to snipe, basically. Yeah, I think that's probably the gist of how she fights. At least so far, who knows? Maybe it'll change as I start to play. I don't know how she's gonna fit in. I'm really fascinated by it. I think that she's, the way I sort of thought of her is being like a young Doc Holliday. So Doc Holliday, before he had the experience and charisma that he does, whenever you actually know about him. So I imagine her in the sense of also being kind of like Gimli. She goes in someplace, she just wants to go right through the door and say, here's how I'm gonna take you out. Whether or not it works that way or people respond to it is something else entirely. So I kind of want to, I want to think of her as like a brash, young person who's out to go and be a hero and adventurer and, is kind of stumbling along the way. And I think interacting with others, she's boisterous, she wants to gamble, she wants to drink, so she can kind of create problems or fun, however you want to look at that, really. I'm excited to see Grace Holiday in this world that Jim has created, because I really find a lot of fun in taking what someone has created and then figuring out how to kind of mingle with that. The thing I enjoy the most as a performer, as an RPG player, is working with the others. I like the dynamics and the relationships, whether it's with another player, whether it's with an NPC, or whether it's with the world that she's in. So in this instance, I've placed her as being from the city. And she has arcane tattoo. And so there's sort of this whole idea, without giving too much away, of the way the city works. The particular area she's from, there's a lot of kind of like magical sewage that's come down there. So my thought process is this particular tattoo, this thing that happened to her, came from that magical sewage. So she has chilling touch because of it. So it's kind of a plus, but it's also kind of a horrible negative, depending upon, how you go with it. So I'm really interested in that, and just kind of, the world he's created is insane. That kind of creation is nuts. So there's obviously a ton of things to plumb, which is exciting and terrifying because it's so huge. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm Megan Caves, and you can catch me on the DaT Network Tuesdays on Twitch.
There we are. We're back, everybody. We did it. We made it. You made it. Before we get started, I do want to give a shout out to Sirenscape for making this episode sound awesome. This episode is made possible by Sirenscape, so big shout out to Sirenscape. And of course, Norse Foundry. Those of you who've been watching those dice rolls might have noticed that the Norse Foundry logo at the bottom means that they're sponsoring those dice cams, so big shout out to both of them for helping out with this episode. Another shout out to you, the fans. I'm sure that you have noticed that the bonuses have been flying. They've made a huge difference in a lot of the rolls and the outcomes, so big shout out to everybody who's been donating and cheering and all that stuff. It really, I know that you guys have needed the help on a couple of those. Yep. A couple of those rolls. Like hero points getting used, it's all good stuff.
And speaking of, I'm not sure if we got to this yet, but Delirious has given a $5 donation to Sly.
Thank you, Delirious. Oh, that's exciting. I'm very excited to use that to survive.
Have them buffs. So we had come upon, you were, sorry, I don't know, I got all off track. You were in the Post-Mortal Services building.
We found the guy, we're on the way out.
Not quite. What you did find was a dead body and some weird little creature that almost seemed like it's on the fritz that was around the body, and as soon as it spotted Zakah coming down the stairwell, it just sort of freaked out and took wings straight at her, teeth bared. And so I guess it's time to roll initiative.
I definitely heard that differently than you intended. I thought you said he was going for her teeth.
Going
And that's why I looked.
He's gonna
I
take
heard
her
that
teeth.
too. I heard that too. Take her teeth, Jim.
No, that hits way too close to home, because remember that time?
Oh, yeah.
I've got my initiative, but what about Grace? Let's start on this side of the table.
20.
20 for Grace. She was ready for all this. How's Oatly looking?
12.
12 for Oatly. Oatly was not as prepared as some.
I'm a little
What
further
about
back in the group.
Zaka?
12 backward. 21.
Don't do this to me, Zaka. Don't do it to me. Sly.
You know, it was really close to being a 25, and then it decided to be a 9.
It decided to be a 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
Quentin, we are rolling initiative, and what does yours look like?
22.
22.
Focused.
I was very focused. I
Ready.
was. Duh.
Also, before we get too far into combat, $5 came in from Dark Knight for an edge for Katie, and $5 from the Real POTUS for an edge to Adam.
Oh!
He's your best friend tonight.
Dude, POTUS, you got my back tonight. Thank you so much.
Well,
Dark Knight's got.
Adam, you are actually first to go. You were ready for this. You are still up the stairs. You can hear this sound. So the stairs, you're on a stairwell. There's a landing below you. Zaka is actually looking the other way because it curves around. You hear this weird, like, hissing, growling sound. You know, Zaka, like, tenses up. You can see something's happening down below. What do you do?
So I do that like thing where you like go down the stairs. You're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I get down there with maybe one action, I guess.
Yeah, you get down to
And
Zaka's
let's
level
go.
of the landing.
Oh boy,
You
that's
see
hideous.
this little, like, creature.
Well, I'm gonna glean lore
Sure.
that creature.
Glean lore the creature.
No, actually, I don't know what I'm rolling on that one.
You
Is
can.
it
You
glean
can
lore?
use Glean Lore as a recall knowledge, or you could use Arcana.
Well, they're all bad.
They're all bad.
Yeah, I
And
don't
two
think
on the
anything
die
is
is
gonna
no
do.
good for anybody.
That's a 6.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on.
That looks terrible.
That's 2 actions.
And I'm gonna go ahead and cast shield on myself.
Shield, yeah.
Which again is like a really big. He like sort of like
Yeah.
takes both hands, and like, and then the shield pops up. Which I'll remember that action every time.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Most
This
definitely.
magical barrier of force shimmers into being just in front of Quentin as he realizes that something nasty, you found something bad. You react quicker than it does. What do you do?
So first action, I'm going to draw my great axe.
Great axe in hand.
Second action, I basically, I don't know what else could be down here. I don't want to trigger too many other things, so I kind of, get really, really laser focused on this thing that's
Yeah.
just darting at me, and kind of like grit my teeth and smile, and I say, Verthaspia. And I go and I move forward. I really wanted to shrink it until I remembered, wait, am I close enough?
No, you would need to move up to it.
Okay, and then I move
So draw, you move forward.
I raged and I moved
You raged and then you moved forward. Okay. So that is 3 actions, but you are now next to this thing. Grace,
Yeah.
you were just behind Quindon, so you see him rush down. He casts a spell. Zaka draws a great axe and goes rushing down. You haven't seen this thing yet, but you can see your friends are dealing with something down below.
And
Sorry, we just distracted Megan. Sorry.
While she's
that was
thinking,
my bad.
$25 came through from I'm In For Life for an edge for the entire table, except for Jim.
Sorry, but
okay, so I don't know what this is. So then that means I will draw my short bow
Getting the bow out.
because we're in cramped space.
Cramp spaces, yep.
Yeah, and I will. How far down can I get if I draw
So
that?
you can get to the landing basically right next to Quindon, which is where Zaka was, and with 1 action.
Can I see the creature?
You are assuming you could probably get
Can
there.
I
Yeah, you get there, you
shoot
can
it?
see it. Zaka's in your way, which is going to give it a bonus to its AC, but you can shoot it.
I'll do it. I'll do it anyway. Am I still enfeebled?
What's that?
Am I still enfeebled?
You are still enfeebled, which shouldn't affect
I don't
your
think it will.
bow at all.
unless
Where are my short bow?
no,
It
because
doesn't.
it's not
Sweet.
propulsive.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna try to shoot it. Right in the. That's. No, that's cocked. Okay. Right in its bared teeth. Oh, good. That is a 15.
15, trying not to hit Zakah. You just can't quite get a beat on this thing, and its movements are so erratic, and you can't quite figure out why. Arrow misses, but not by a whole lot. That was draw the bow, move, and shoot, so that'll take us to the best turn. My turn. Now, as I understand, what's that, Bear Jug? Oh, use my edge on Zakah right now? Is that what you're... All right, Bear Jug, if that's what I must do.
I speak Bear Juggies, and that was not what Bear Jug
Bear
said.
Jug says to attack you with edge, giving myself a +1 bonus on
Guys,
this
he's making
roll.
that up. Bear Jug didn't say that.
So here comes the attack. Ugh. Even with the edge, I'm not feeling good about that though. That was a 14.
No. That's a
Miss.
miss.
Jim, I don't mean to be that guy, but there was $75 dropped earlier from Sarah BC1.
That is very true.
And you said it didn't happen specifically to Nathan.
It doesn't
even
help
though
us specifically to Nathan. So
But can it?
Which I like. I think.
So actually what that means is that we actually did forget about that in the sense that everybody has concealment. So from now on, we'll have to make checks when targeting any other creature with any of your abilities. And there's a secondary effect that I happen to know that I will keep track of that you have been unable to figure out thus far. So
Wait, sorry. So what was the fate surge? Was that the smoke coming out of the sewers?
the blue mist that now affects the entire...
Oh, that affects the whole city?
affects everything.
That was fate surge?
Yes.
Whoa.
Fate surges
Do
are
not
global.
give the power to affect the whole city to Sarah BC1. Because she will just change
Fate
things.
surges are global, and they remain active until another fate surge takes its place. So, keeping that in mind, all creatures are concealed, which means that on my second attack against Zakah, I will roll a flat check to determine whether I can hit her or not.
Which you fail.
Which I don't fail. It's 16 on the die. Unfortunately, that wasn't my attack, though. Now I have to hit her. I already used up my good roll, so this is at a minus compared to my last roll, since it's my second attack. Yeah, and it tries to hit you twice, but it can't quite make it happen.
Jim, can I ask you a quick question that maybe the fans are also thinking?
What?
You say that Sarah BC1's thing is global.
Yes.
Does that mean a certain party underwater who has like
by
air
global,
vents?
global I mean that during this episode,
Okay.
everybody is affected by
Cool,
that.
cool.
But let's pretend that global event took place during our episode. Would they be able to experience the after effects of that global event?
No.
Would they know, for instance, would they know that the sewers rose up? Like if they were
would
on
not.
this, I know they're down in the.
Right. Well, you're saying if they were in, yes, if they were, they would, that event would still happen in the continuous timeline of.
That's good. In 1985, that still happens.
Yes.
Good.
Party!
I'm glad that we're establishing these things. It is totally sure.
Craig?
I would like to move far enough forward that I can see it.
Okay, you get down to the landing with one action, but now that there's two people on it,
No
you
way.
can't stop there. So you can continue moving, but you'll have to use up another action of movement.
Probably worth it. Yeah, I'll keep moving so I can get a clearer view.
Yep.
And I would like to take my third action to figure anything out about it, if I know what it is.
Arcana.
All right, let's see what I got. Ooh, 12 on the die, plus 7 is 19.
7.
Ooh,
19.
nice.
Yeah, a number that I apparently forgot. Either way, it's enough. You know that this is actually a tiny little magical constructed creature known as a homunculus. They typically follow wizards, or they're created by wizards or other spellcasters. They follow them around basically as servants, but if their masters die, sometimes the magic bond between them causes them to completely freak out and just become uncontrollable, which is very likely what happened to this guy.
That makes me sad. Yeah, I'll yell as much of that to the party as I can
Sure.
in that time.
I will tell you, actually, I'll give you a piece of useful information. Do you want to know something about its immunities or something about one of its attacks?
Immunities.
Immunities. Because it's a construct, it's immune to bleeding, death effects, diseases. It can't be sickened or paralyzed or healed.
I will yell all of that as well.
Basically, no mental effects.
It's
That was your
construct.
third action. Oh, wait, go ahead, sorry.
That's
Okay,
it.
you're good?
It's just a construct.
Sly.
Now we're going downstairs. I feel like it's starting to get tight. Is it?
It is. So you can't stop on the landing because there's 2 people there already. You could basically, if you move to get within visual range of this thing, you have to move twice to actually stand in a space that is.
Acrobatics.
You could always try an acrobatics. You could leap down the stairwell from where you're standing in a daring attempt to gain panache.
I think that's what I have to do.
Just some comments here, Nathan.
There are some comments. As I go all think through all of this, Cranky Stank wants to say all hail to Lord Bearjug.
All hail, Bearjug.
All hail.
Yes.
Bearjug. Craig, son of Horus, is calling me out saying, "Don't you try to bone us, Nathan." I don't know what he means by that.
There's also a $5 donation coming in from Spartan Undead for Katie. Don't make him regret this.
I know.
And the Real POTUS 98 also giving me another edge for my Back to the Future reference.
Oh!
And yes, Bearjug is actually the mascot for Seven Towers University. The Fighting Bearjugs!
Go Bear
Fighting
Jack!
Bearjugs.
It's Lucas Martinez.
It's canon now.
It's canon. Fighting
The Bearjug.
And Trojo 1983, Sigurd the Stout, and Malice 1974, all names I've totally butchered, are following us. Crossbones, AE cheering again, and JWomac 94 also cheering.
So I've got an edge. I think I'm going to use it to try and do some amazing acrobatics because why not go for it?
Sure.
Why not? Well,
Why not?
11.
11. You try to basically do this like leap over the rail of the stairs, which puts you down there, right in front of Odalie, ready to go. But you misjudge your legs coming up over the railing. You get kind of tangled up on there, and you, instead of leaping gracefully over, are now hanging down from the railing. Odalie, you look up, and Sly's feet are dangling like 5 feet above your head. And he's like looking down at you. It's very unimpressive. He is in no state of panache. That's for certain.
That's sad.
But now I am closer.
But you are closer.
It's the bright side, Jim. So that was one action to try and do the railing thing. I'm going to. I guess I want to try and. Can I just kind of drop down now?
Drop down.
How far is it?
Now you'll need to make another acrobatics check just to make sure that you don't like land on Odalie or land weird on the stairs and fall down.
Yeah.
You land on
This should be relatively easy as long as you don't critically fail it.
Well, let's see what the dice say, Jim. 13?
13. So you do manage to land safely
Right.
down below. It's a free action just to let go of the railing, so you still have 2 actions left.
Wonderful. Am I like right with this thing now?
No, you still would have to move up to it because you couldn't quite get where you wanted to go.
Okay, well, I know I have to draw a weapon.
Yes.
So I am going to do that. I'm going to, I guess, I could draw my sling,
Sure.
right? Because if there's still some distance, I'll draw my sling to try and mess
No,
with
you
it.
can draw but then there's also, it has a load action.
Oh,
So
that's right. It's
you
draw
have to
and
the
load.
sling.
I guess what I'll do is I'll just grab my sword and just be there ready, making sure that I'm with Odalie.
Gotcha. So you hang out by Odalie, protecting her, sword in hand. Top of the next round, Quindon. What you doing? What you got? What happens?
Quindon throws a lance.
A lance?
A magical lance.
A lance?
But it's kind of like, looks like a unicorn horn. It's like spiraled.
Spirals
lance.
in?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a magical one, and he throws.
Make a spell attack, I
I
believe.
sure will. Boy, will I. And I sure do know what I'm rolling for that. I'm going to put an edge on this, too.
Ooh, put the edge on
Thank you all to the fans. So many edges coming in. Boy, did I need all of that, because I screwed it up. 10 total
it.
is the
10,
roll.
yeah. Your lance goes wild. Sparks fly as it strikes the wall and dissipates.
And then for my final action, I will move off of the stairs to clear the way.
Clear the way.
Moving to the side.
Sure. You sort of, there's that little area by the stairwell, sort of tucked off to the side where you can still see the action, but you're not really in anybody's way.
Brave leader.
Zakat,
Yes.
what are you doing?
I would like to smash this thing.
Smash it?
With
A smash.
my
A
great
smash?
axe. A smash.
Make a smash.
I will attempt to. Where'd my dice go? Wait.
Is this it?
Wait.
Here's one.
One fell.
Wait, did it
I
fall?
feel
Oh, we
like.
may
This
have
is
fallen.
Yeah.
Hold
I
on,
didn't see
guys.
one go flying.
Hold
Here,
on.
do you want a D20? I have
No,
many.
it's my special Zakah D20. Oh no. We did a thing
Well-
over here and now I lost
There's
it.
special Zakah one. In
wait,
the
I got it.
meantime,
I think
got
that's
guys,
the show.
Got it.
we got a comment that said the walkie-talkies on the. Oh wait.
That I don't think we were supposed to read that
Oh,
one.
we don't read that one. Rady, do not read this.
All right,
You
17.
fool.
17. That's a hit.
Ooh, awesome.
You bring the axe down and smash into this thing.
All right.
Smash it till it's dead.
Oh, yeah.
That's generally the idea.
Woo, that's 8 plus 8, so 16 points
Plus
of
8.
damage.
You slash into this thing.
Wow.
You see, it's mostly made of apparently clay because these huge cracks almost shatter its entire body. It's barely like hanging together by whatever magic animates it. It's still alive though.
It's tiny Wonder
I'm
Woman.
gonna swing again.
Hey, why not?
Jim, I have to go through so much to try and jump over railings just to get a little bit extra, and you get upset with it, but all she goes is, for that spear, and plus 8 happens.
So I take a -5 to this one.
-5 to this roll.
So that's still an 18.
Wow.
She's a woo!
Yeah, that's a hit.
Woohoo! All right. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, max damage. 12 plus 8.
Wow.
So you don't even like chop into it. You just, with the flat of your blade, slam it like a fly swatter. This creature it gets knocked into the wall and just crumbles into dust.
Whoa.
Is absolutely destroyed by the vicious swing
Well,
of your second attack.
you didn't need
That's
us
the end of that combat because you destroyed it.
Sorry, guys.
I look around to everyone and say, what are the odds that behind this door are a bunch more of those? If they're connected to wizards,
well, that's assuming they all make one, right? Like, right? That's what you said. It's a construct.
Yeah, I mean,
Is this like a thing they do here? I don't know.
I kind of like settle my great axe and I say, I don't think it's going to be a problem for us.
Oh, that's
What was it made out of? You said it was a construct.
Yeah, it's made out of, it was made out of a variety of materials. Clay forms the body, and then you can see like there's actually, it looks like dried, shriveled up organs, maybe like animal
Oh,
organs.
that's-
It's kind
oh,
of a
that's
whole
weird.
weird thing. It's a construct, but it's also an arcane process to create and animate homunculi. So it's got a lot of weird stuff in it, and no two are ever exactly the same either.
So are we sure that this one isn't the one we came for? Because he looks dead.
What are you,
dead. Oh, woman. She looks dead. They look dead. Real dead.
I will. Is that a medicine check to see how they died, or is that survival? What is that?
Medicine check if you want to determine how they are. how they
Sure,
fare.
medicine check. Bam in the die. In the box is what I meant to say. 17.
17. As you're looking around, you see that she has a gash on her side. It's very likely that she was suffering from. She was trying to escape from wherever she was wounded and succumbed to internal bleeding.
The
in
gash-
stairwell.
Nothing distinguishable, as in like, boy, that sure was a vicious monster that put that gash in there. just like that.
It could have come from anywhere. It's not a clean cut like a blade or anything.
Is this still rubble down here?
No, the stairwell is actually very structurally sound in the corner of the building, but you would have to guess just from the extent of the damage that the building had sustained that you were looking at from the outside that it's very likely that the building itself is probably in quite a bit of disarray on the interior.
Yeah, that's interesting. Why is it damaged? Is it damaged from the explosion of
Very
the
yeah.
7 towers? So all the buildings as we were coming in were all
Yeah,
damaged
you were
as
seeing.
well. You said it and I ignored it.
No,
Yeah, okay.
it's fine. I also didn't do a huge amount of description about it, but yeah, like the streets torn up, a lot of the trees have been uprooted and blasted away. Like there's
Where
a lot
does it
of
seem
stuff.
like she has come from? Like, because you said these are stairs. Is she coming
Yeah.
like up the stairs to get out, or was she going down?
It
the
look,
stairs?
I mean, she's right inside the door. The way she's facing, it would make sense if she had come into the door.
But there's no like blood trail.
No, there's nothing you see right now. Not that it makes any sense.
Interesting. I kind of relay that. I'm like, she's definitely has this gash on the side here, and I don't know what did it. I don't see a blood trail. So,
What if she was attacked?
was it the homunculus that got her? Was that her homunculus? Maybe it was somebody else's.
From what I understand of the homunculus
Well,
from
yeah,
before,
you-
it wouldn't have
it
happened that way.
shouldn't be. If you while
Yeah.
she was alive, it should have just been under her command without any kind of.
Should have been.
It should have been just under her command, and what would have caused this to happen is her death.
If this is hers.
If it's hers or whoever else's death that it was attached to.
I'll search her body.
Sure,
See what
sounds
we,
good.
What we come up with.
Why wouldn't you? You find 3 silver talons in her pocket.
I literally am like searching the body and just hand the silver talons up in the air for whoever grabs them. Usually it's Odie. I do that, and she grabs them.
And she's got a stoppered vial of some kind of clear pink liquid.
I hold that up.
What if someone used this opportunity to make an attack? Like everything, all the commotion, they could hide it.
That's not a bad
Just keep searching.
idea.
Right?
Yeah, I kind of stop. I look at you, and I'm like,
It's
And
just
then I
a
go
thought.
back to it, digging through, handing stuff up.
She's got a post-mortal services name tag. This is apparently a woman by the name of Olive Besmerton.
Olive. Does the name tag say like favorite movie is this or
No,
like,
no, it literally shows it's just
Or what
just
her
a
title
basic
is?
identification. No.
no title? Okay. Does she look like a wizard?
You would. I mean, everybody in the city looks like a wizard. It would not surprise you at all if she at least knew some magic.
Sure.
She looks to be, with your medicine check, I mean, you'd be able to, she's probably late 20s, so it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that she was a professional necromancer of some kind, but she could have, been any other kind of wizard.
But necromancy is illegal in the nation?
In the nation, the city has passed an act called the Freedom of Research Act, which declared all areas of magical study valid academic pursuits, legal for study and for commercial use.
How long ago did that die?
That was 1048, and it's 1053 now, I believe.
5
I'm
years.
literally
5
going off the top of
years
my
ago.
head. So
Okay.
yeah, but in the last 5 years, that field of study has been opened up to be openly practiced. Now, it's a fairly well-known secret that people were practicing it and researching it well before the act passed.
Yeah.
But openly, it wasn't until the council actually enacted the law that it became open.
If Odley thinks everybody's busy, taking a look down the hallway or trying to look at the name tag, whatever, she will try to, as stealthily as possible, lean down and grab some of the clay and organs from the homunculus and put them in her bag and give Draven a little
Sure.
pet
Sure.
And treat.
and a treat. Well, I would hope he'd understand that maybe I'd want to
That's
take a
for
look
you.
at those later.
That's your treat.
So you're all in the stairwell. There's the smashed up homunculus. There's Olive's corpse. There's the door that you would presume leads out into the rest of this floor. What do you do?
I'd like to make my way to the door, but
Sure.
not open it. Maybe just
Okay.
listen to see what I
Sure, we'll make a perception check for you and see if you notice anything. You don't hear anything through the door. Don't notice any light or anything underneath, like in the crack.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna wait for Zakah to lead the way.
As you do.
But the light is still
Yeah, light's
there.
active. You guys can see fairly well.
pretty little butterfly floating around.
I'd probably just turn to Sly and say, any chance you want to check this door for us real quick before I go barging in?
Sure, why not? I'll listen at the door, check it out.
You're, fairly certain there's nothing to notice about it. It seems you don't hear anything through it. You do know you note that it's a fairly thick door, so chances are hearing through would be difficult. But you also don't see any kind of like alarms or countermeasures or any kind of you're fairly certain it's safe.
Okay. Seems fine to me.
I open the door.
You open the door,
And we die.
and that's it. Sly should detect the bear.
Enjoy the
Next
Friday
week we
show.
come back
Katie
with
wants to not open the door, but Zakao will
Right.
open the door.
yeah.
You open it up into some hallways, and as you begin to move through these corridors in search of your quarry, I'd love you to make a survival check.
Ugh. Gross.
13.
13?
Minus 10 on that.
Okay.
Yeah, mine's an 11.
Ooh, mine's an 8.
Ooh.
Zakata's making her way. She's kind of, as the person sort of in the lead, you're looking around. You do notice that there have been signs of recent movement. A lot of there's blood. There's footprints in recent thick dust. So you can tell that there's been some movement through the area. You actually make your way into a very large space that all of you know would normally be open to the public. There are plush benches and tropical, pleasant-smelling plants. All around the room, you see that there are figures standing on short pedestals as if on display. It could be mannequins, except that every once in a while, you see them twitch or shudder ever so slightly. On closer inspection, you realize that these are no more than remarkably well-preserved, but definitely animated corpses.
Oh.
They're dressed in finery, all done up to appear lifelike with makeup. This is a showroom for zombified servants, well known to be available for purchase if you can afford them. There is an exit from this room that is a broken door marked.
Just
for
go through that broken door over there.
That broken door. It's marked for employees only, though there's really nothing to stop you from going through it if you choose. Other than that, you would have to exit out. You see that there is the only other way out of the room would lead you into the main lobby, and you know that the main lobby has the smashed main entrance that you can't get through anyway.
I look at Odalie and I'm like, remember when we thought about getting one of these? I'm looking at the statues or
They're not
the
statues.
animated bodies.
Yeah, but the one we were looking at wasn't as tawdry as these.
No, I think we were looking at one of the lesser models.
Yeah.
Since you two have some knowledge of these beings, will they harm us as we move through?
Shouldn't, but then again, the tower shouldn't explode either.
I don't like that. Shouldn't. Shall we just take him out just to be safe?
I mean,
I'd rather not start something.
I don't know what's our
Good
contract
point.
say about collateral damage.
That's not who we are. We're not doing that.
Oh, they're already dead though.
Well, yeah, they're already dead. It's just actually destroying property, really, at this
unnecessary.
point.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's a good point, unless they follow us and try to kill us.
Legally speaking, I believe it's just destroying property.
Whoa.
It's not.
Yeah, animated corpses fall under property laws for the city.
I mean, do they think? They don't, right?
I
That's a
mean,
whole other thing.
it does say strict rules of engagement, but that's only in a sentence with living beings, so...
If you're worried about him, Grace, I certainly can't stop you.
Right. Well, I mean, I just thought it could be something to, in case they follow us or something happens. But we don't have to. If
I start
everyone
carefully
else does
making
that,
my
well,
way through the room.
Zaka's
You begin
right.
moving across the room. Are towards the rear door, marked employees only, as they're standing there arguing about whether they're going to destroy the zombies or not.
While she does that, and
Yeah.
while this argument is happening, I look
Yeah.
at Grace and I say, well, I have an idea on that. And I take one of my jingly janglies from my
Yeah.
outfit and I tear it off and I sort of go up to one of the animated guys
Yeah.
and I
Oh yeah, mess
put
with
it on.
Great.
We sort of just attach it
Okay.
to their belt. Because I want to know if they start
Giggles.
moving.
Sure.
I want to know, if they're coming after us.
Gotcha.
Smart.
All
Gotcha,
right.
jingly jangly.
Like a
It's a guy, you've reached that door. You can see that it's busted. It's basically busted open, so you would just pull it, head through. You see there's a fairly dark hallway beyond, but it's not completely dark. You would be in dim light, but obviously if you waited for Quindon, you would have a better chance, but you could continue going through if you wanted to.
Magic normally powered the lights in this building?
You actually do see that as a bit of a quaint touch, they were using mundane lanterns on the walls It's just that none of them are lit right now.
Oh. Okay. Guess we could light them if we cared to.
Yeah, you can. Doesn't look like they can be removed from the walls, but you could light them.
How from whenever we approached this building, could we get a sense of how big it was?
That's a fairly large building.
Okay.
You know that the showroom itself is pretty big. This is sort of their public facing, this is where they sold a lot of their product. But you also know that Postmortal Services does a lot of research and development behind the scenes. So there's still a significant amount of area back in the building is where they do all the work.
When
Okay.
Odalie and I were here before, when we were interested in getting a post-mortal servant, did we go any further into the building than here? Was the showroom
No one has
basically
ever,
where-
unless you have some kind of special connection to the company, they never take people into the back.
Yeah, so this is where
Those
where
are
our knowledge
employees,
of the space would have ended.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd probably yell back to Quindon and say, Quinn, can we get some light up here?
Yeah. Move it.
All right.
And it like flickers like a butterfly, and I kind of like, ugh, as it goes.
Oh yeah, I do make it dance around her head a little bit.
So curiously enough, I know that unless you're using the spell dancing lights, you do have to have it on an object.
Yeah. All right. Fine.
You have some butterflies.
You wanna
that
light
have
me?
the
I
light.
have butterflies that float around. Okay, yeah, I mean, I'll light her axe then, but it does look like a butterfly. A little bit.
The axe
Add
head
one
itself,
the light.
it has like the outline of wings on it now. It's,
Yeah, and you see like these little antennae come
Yeah.
off the top.
Ooh, Brian Summers just come up with a nice slogan. Post-mortal services. Our day starts when your life ends.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good one.
Good.
Yeah, I'll go.
Would I see any more now that I've got light?
Now that you've got light, you can make another survival check.
Is that all of us or just...
Ooh, not 20.
I'll just leave it to Zakai.
Yeah, but he's letting her do it.
23.
Following at least, whether it's right or not, you do see signs of a lot of movement actually out towards where you're coming, and you're wondering if perhaps this is where Olive's path led you. So you can sort of back trace where she came from, or you could just try one of the random corridors.
I'll backtrace where she came from, I think.
Back trace where she came from. Okay. You wander the hallways, following this sort of trail of blood. You can see that she must have been wounded coming through here. Occasionally, you see bloody spots in the wall where you're like looking at it, and you're like, okay, this is where she actually had to like lean on the wall for a minute and rest. You see her footprints are like sort of staggered in places, indicating that she was doing very badly. It was remarkable she made it to where she ended up. But eventually, you come to a dead end at a door marked Restricted Access. There is a small plaque that indicates this door will take you into a sublevel, but you don't see any way to open it. There's no latch, there's no button, there's no lever, there just doesn't look like there's any way to open it.
Would it open toward me or away from
It
me?
would actually open, you have no idea. You pushing on it, it doesn't budge. When you push on it, there's nothing to grab onto to pull it, like you don't know what. Door's
Melon.
solid. Huh?
Melon.
Nothing happens.
Take
Worth a
out.
shot.
Well, I don't actually have it. I look at because I handed it to Odalie. I asked her, "What about the nameplate?"
Oh yeah. I'll pull out the nameplate and kind of hold it up to around the door, try to find some kind of
Maybe you have to see it.
sensor.
Okay.
Something.
Nothing happens.
Can I do either a perception check or a different type of check to see if there's anything we can figure out about?
And detect.
Perception. I don't see. I mean, like you can tell that the door looks like it slides like left. It like slides into the wall. But there's no physical way that you can see to open the door.
Can I go and just start pressing on the wall in various
Yeah, you
different
start
places?
pressing on the wall like nothing. Like it's just smooth wall mostly.
What is the wall made of? Stone?
It looks like stone and plaster and.
Okay. Because if it slides to the left, then ideally there might be a latch on the right, but through
Yeah, but
stone
there's
wall.
definitely like you guys spend a couple of minutes like looking around here. There's no physical manual means to
Yeah.
open this door.
I just mean like in the wall, you know, like
Yeah.
in the wall. So,
We were going very carefully
Yeah.
to hide the.
Yeah. That's a cool magic trick. Can I do the same sort of perception though as I'm kind of looking for the I guess I don't know what else it would kind of be. It's a door that
Yeah.
opens only from the other side.
Maybe.
Well, it's probably magic, right? That would be
Yeah,
my guess.
probably.
Like maybe somebody dead has to open it. I don't know. This is like how they make dead people here, right?
Detect magic.
There is a presence of magic here.
And when I detect magic, I go like this.
Yes, you look around. Yes, there's definitely
It's completely
magic.
unnecessary to do,
Yeah.
but I do it anyway.
You take a moment to make sure that you filter out for any of the ambient stuff, none of the stuff that your friends are carrying, even accounting for the ash and the mist. There is another source of there is another presence of magic here. Yes.
Sorry, we've got a couple of comments. I assume, based on the candy throw, Brian Summer saying, "Wow, so unprofessional,"
Hashtag candy throw.
and McCranky Stank saying, "My immersion, no."
Boo this man.
Look at this man. His immersion breaking. Yeah, but you would. I mean, from all there's definitely magic here, but there just doesn't seem to be any way to open this door. There are other pathways you can try.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
try another
let's-
door.
You know,
We
this
could-
is very likely where Olive came from, but there just doesn't seem to be a way forward.
This
Yeah.
isn't our
Try an
mission.
axe.
Our mission is to find him. So if we can't go through this door,
Dolores.
What if he's in there?
Daryl.
It's Dornell.
Dornell.
Gage.
Dornell.
Dornell.
Gage.
Oh, what if we knock on it?
Dr. Dornell Gage.
Any other Dornells? Dr. Dornell Gage.
Doorbell. Doorbell. Is there a doorbell?
No, that wasn't it.
That wasn't the riddle.
Nope.
Okay. Cool.
I start looking toward another path.
Yeah, so I mean, like you had sort of specifically chosen this way as opposed to some of the other options you could have gone. So you begin making your way through some more darkened, more of the hallways. Is everybody following Zakar, or are they just kind of letting her scout?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow, but I want to kind of nudge her for the nameplate. I want to see if maybe that's magical.
Sure.
I want to detect magic on that
You don't.
specifically.
It doesn't appear to be.
Okay.
And actually, Odely gets distracted. That vial of pink liquid.
Yeah.
We don't know what that is.
You have to spend 10 minutes examining it to try to determine what it does, but you don't currently know what it does.
Can I zone out and just follow the vague shape of Zakah in front of me?
You'd have to convince her to stop for 10 minutes while you studied this
That's
vial.
an easy ask.
I know she's not going to say yes, so I'll wait.
As she's scouting, can I be investigating?
Yeah, you'd be
Since I know
sort of
those are
searching,
different.
trying to determine what you determine. Making your way along. Following Zakah, she's trying to determine, like, okay, where at least do I see signs of movement? Where can I go that I think at least will lead us somewhere? Make sure we don't get lost. We're not running in circles, because a lot of these the corridors a lot of them are very featureless. So you're having to take precautions to make sure that you're not just like walking around the same offices over and over again, especially in the weird light of the eldritch butterfly, but and the mist. The mist makes it very difficult as well to determine exactly what direction you're heading. However, you come upon a scene where you notice there are some smears of fresh blood on the wall, and as you inspect a little closer, you can see that there are signs that there might have been a scuffle here, probably recently.
Zakar, everyone, keep your wits about you.
Wait.
This blood, it looks like there was a fight here. Why would...
Maybe it was an attack.
You might not be wrong. Yeah, that worked. Yeah, I think, like, I just kind of grip my sword a little tighter.
Okay.
And I'm looking out for if there's any signs of someone that could be jumping out at us.
Sure.
Survival
gotcha.
and/or medicine to investigate what he's talking about to see if that is Well, I was just thinking because there could certainly be other races or ancestries. Excuse me. But I want to know if this blood is natural or if it is monster blood.
I mean, there's really not. It's definitely
Okay, I'm gonna roll.
humanoid blood, but there's really nothing. Yeah.
18 on the die.
No, it's
22.
yeah, it's red blood.
This may be already kind of what he did, but since there are some different ways to go, I don't necessarily want to go too far down any path
Yeah.
that anyone else isn't going, but I want to get a better sense of all the directions that anyone could come from or the directions that we could go.
Sure. We're kind of in exploration mode, so we
Okay.
can call this like you could be you're scouting, you're on lookout.
Yeah.
You know, so that would if we need to roll initiative, everybody's gonna get a +1 bonus for that. Sly, you've done some investigating.
I was scouting, but
Just moving ahead. All right.
Yeah.
So you continue forward.
As we continue forward, I will switch to detect magic mode.
Yeah.
Doing this.
Detecting magic. You don't sense any additional ambient sources of magic, and Sly.
Mm-hmm.
It's faint at first, but the further you move along, you're starting to hear this very steady, rhythmic, like thudding sound. It sounds like something heavy hitting wood over and over and over again, and it's like the beat of it is relatively quick. And it's not a steady beat. Like it'll be like thud thud, and then a second later like another thud, and like it just keeps going. And it's like the closer you get to it, the louder it's getting, and you can now start to even hear like splinters as wood is cracking and creaking. And Zakai, you get to a corner, and you turn, and you see a very strange sight. You see two nude figures about 25 feet away, and they're just shouldering into this door over and over again. Two of them. And they're just like the wood is starting to crack and splinter. What do you do?
their wood or the wood? Sorry,
The wood of
are
the
they?
door.
Sorry.
The wood of the door is
I didn't mean it like
splintering.
that.
That is the only wood present.
I was already laughing about this. I'm really glad it just went.
This is a family stream, everyone.
Oh, is it? Oh, is it?
There's going to be a clip. Very interesting.
That's not what I meant. Sorry. You said figures. I wasn't sure if they were. I wasn't sure if they were like wooden statue figures.
No, they don't appear to be wooden statues. They look like people, but they're naked, and they are just slamming themselves against this door over and over and over again. And the wood is starting to like collapse inward. What do you do?
That was the sound of a tool chest falling down the stairs.
I would probably. How close are they all behind me? Am I
They're
alone?
pretty close behind you. They're right behind you.
So they are seeing it at the same time.
Well, you are peeking around the corner. They can. They're right behind you. You peek around the corner. You see this. You're the only one who's seen it so far.
All right, I literally do one of those. Guys.
Didn't someone say that this magical explosion wasn't leaving a bunch of extra magical things out? And that seems like just a bold-faced lie. Just a bold-faced lie.
She's talking, and I'm just trying to be like.
Oh, right.
It sounds like perhaps the sound of her voice carried just a little bit, because suddenly you can all hear this thud, 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 thud stops. And you, Zaka, peek around the corner, and you see these two naked people have now turned around and begin making their way towards where you are standing.
Oh boy.
And you guys got it right. It's time to roll initiative.
Fighting some nudists.
Ooh.
Well, what are we looking at for old Sly?
We got ourselves a 13.
13 for Sly, respectable. Quindon?
What are you doing down there, Jim? Why are you so far?
It's fine. Don't worry about where I am. Worry about where you are.
25.
Okay, that's good. That's 25 is
Dude,
real good.
I've had some good initiative rolls.
Zakai,
15.
15. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
It's my worst one today.
Odely.
22.
Oh, Odely's doing very well as well. What about Grace?
Got another 20. That's my
Another
third
20.
20 initiative.
Hey, I
Nice.
mean, you can't be mad about it.
No, I'm not. I just think it's very specific and strange, and I feel
20
like
will work. Quindon,
it means something.
you've heard this sound stop. Zakah looks back at the group and you can see her face has gone a little pale. Trouble is on its way. What do you do?
I go, I peek around the corner.
Sure, you move up to the corner, look around. There's two naked people that have turned towards, and they lock eyes with you for a second.
They look like animated corpses?
They look like people.
They look like people, huh?
Yeah.
I say, hey, guys, everything okay?
No response.
No, wait, stop, don't. And then I say, well, Zakah, maybe you should talk to them. And I step back behind Zakah.
Step back behind Zakah.
I don't know how well it's gonna work.
After that, Quindon sits behind you, and you notice that Zakah, you're looking around the corner, and they both begin moving, just walking, step by step, right towards you. And they actually get to the head of the hallway, and they come around, and you can all now see them, these two slack-faced, naked people. And one of them reaches out and tries to slash Zakah right across the face with its clawed hand. It doesn't have claws, but it's gnarled hand, and it tries to get her with a fist. But with a 12, it is going to miss. The other one tries the same thing, just sort of lashing out at her. With another 12, though, misses completely. That's all they do. They seem to be moving very, very slowly. Odely, what do you do?
Ooh, I want to know what these things are.
Sure, this would be a religion check.
Occultism?
Yeah, occultism.
Oh, religion.
Yeah, religion is also a thing. I was right the
Will
first
you
time.
let me have occultism?
I'll let you have occultism.
All right.
Yeah, why not? That sounds good.
Hold on, we get to pick what we roll?
No, no,
Yes.
fine. always
22.
22. Upon closer inspection, these remarkably well preserved. Obviously, some work has been done on them. These are zombies, and they are not under any sort of control. And you get to know a couple of things about them. They are weak to positive energy. They are also weak to slashing weapons. Don't try to poke them.
So if you
don't try to poke them?
shout, so if you shout at them, "I believe in you," they will take damage.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
the way
what
that
positive
works.
energy means. That's right.
Hugs
Positive-
are free.
Hugs are just try to hug one.
What if we play it music? Will it?
No.
Well, it depends
No?
on the song.
Yeah, is it like?
Are there minor
uh,
chords?
You have recalled
Lift
knowledge
me
about these creatures.
higher.
What next do you do?
Higher and-
I tell people. I tell the group. The knowledge I've learned, and I'm gonna try as quickly as possible to find a piece of rubble
Okay.
that looks sharp. Like it
Sure.
would do slashing damage, not bludgeoning per se.
Mhm.
And use my mind to throw it.
Use your
Whoa!
mind to throw it. As you do, like you do. You just use your mind to throw things. I think it's a ranged spell attack.
It is, and I just add my spell attack roll, or do I add my ranged?
This is a spell attack roll.
Sweet. Here we go. Oh, that's cracked. I wish it wasn't, but I'll take it. It's a 19 on the die.
Oh,
5.
yeah, that's
so
it.
24.
Yeah, you did it. That's a hit.
Yay!
That is actually a critical hit.
Whoa!
Really?
So that's going to be double damage.
Sweet.
Double the damage, double the fun.
All right, almost max. So that is 9 points of damage doubled. Is 18 points of damage.
18 points of damage. This.
The
What?
dice doubles, not the
Oh.
added.
Not the added. So it would just be 10.
You
14.
roll the die twice, and then whatever. What do you normally add to your damage?
For a telekinetic projectile, it's actually my spellcasting modifier,
Okay.
which is +4 for intelligence.
So it's roll the damage twice, add 8. That is.
Okay.
Oh,
You
okay.
do add the bonus.
So
You do.
5 plus 8 plus 2 So that's 15.
15 points
Nice.
again. Still an impressive hit. This chunk of rebel just right through its head, blasts back out the back of its skull, and you can actually see the hole, but this thing is still standing. It is still just like looking.
Double tap.
It very slowly,
Double tap.
very slowly looks over at you, Odalie. It's just. And it is Grace's turn.
That was horrifying.
That's two
Two
actions
actions to
for a
cast,
spell.
yeah.
How far?
Now that they've moved up, only about 10 feet away.
Okay. So I. Crap. I'll move.
That's an action.
That's a bold strategy.
Does it scare them? I will. I will pull my bow that I. Well, I guess. Can I say I had my short bow out still from
You
earlier?
can say it.
Or
Yeah,
do
no,
I-
I would assume because you are in a known dangerous situation and you had pulled it out before. I'll allow that. That's fine. Get your bow in your hand.
So I will shoot at the one that she just.
Sure. You see this
attacked.
thing hasn't gone down yet, so you decide to try to finish it off.
Yes. And that is 21.
21
Nice.
is a hit. Not a critical hit, but a hit.
Get out of here still to get back to my.
I believe we had some cheers, by the way, from Crossbones. Hey. Now, Crossbones, you've been cheering all night. How have you not become the Bit Boss Battle Box
Yeah.
boss? I want to know. We've only had one of those tonight. We can get another Bit Boss to get some more hero points.
Okay. 1d6. 4. 4 whole damage.
4 points of damage. This thing now has an arrow just right in its chest, but it's still up.
Then what I want to do is walk over basically next to Zakah.
Okay.
And I want to. Are both of them both?
Yeah,
of
they're
these
both
things
like
right there?
right there at the end of the hallway.
I want to reach out and grab the other one
Oh.
and use my chill touch. And basically, what I imagine it looks like is I pull darkness from the air around me or from around me. It's almost like you see it go into the tattoos and then it goes through my body into this creature. And I just want to say no and try and see if I can get it to go away.
To go away.
Go
At
away!
least for a little while.
Wow.
To make it flee
okay.
if I do really well, but it's a fortitude save. And this I'm to figure out real quick.
So it is unfortunately a
seen
2-action
No.
cast.
Oh, you probably have. It's. Oh yeah, it might take 2.
It's a 2-action
Cast two,
cast. So if you
yes.
want to move, so you shot, you moved up. You only have 1 action.
So I can't
left.
do that. Okay.
Ah,
Well, pretend that you saw that really cool thing, but also it didn't happen.
We've seen it before, right?
seen it before.
Now we know.
So I will, instead of. I'll just shoot, I guess, again at this point, because I can do that, because that's
Yeah.
1. I'll just take
Yeah.
a -5, right?
Yes, -5.
I'm in for life coming in Crossbones' territory, becoming the Bit Boss and giving the hero point to Grace. Grace,
Thank
have
you.
a hero point.
Thank you! That is. What did I do? I just shot -5 plus 4. So it's 10. 10.
10? That's no good. 10's no good. 10's not going to do it. That is going to.
But it knows that
But
I
it
was
knows.
planning
It
to
was
do that really
planning.
creepy.
It's like
So it just runs anyway. I mean.
maybe. Who knows?
Could be.
Now, I would like to say it's Zakah's turn, but from behind the
No.
you hear a sound.
Yeah.
You hear a sound that sounds very much like.
Nope.
As out from a side office stumbles another nude corpse.
Hold up. Do we get 2 minis? Why do you have 2 minis?
Well, because I have 2
You're breaking the
groups
rules.
of enemies. I have 2 groups of enemies.
No, not 2 minis.
No,
Remember
I
we
get
asked
2
about those
minis.
earlier?
No.
Yep.
Quindon, stumbling right up to you at the rear of the group.
That's
is
not where it was attacking.
new
I'm not at
thing
the
that
rear.
Oh, it tries to slam you in the back of the head. I do. We keep forgetting. I will make a flat check to determine because we are all in the misty mist.
In the misty
Forgot about the
mist.
misty
Mist.
mist.
Everywhere.
15 on the die for the flat check, which means that it does get to attack you. Which it will do.
But I save against it.
Hitting armor class 19.
Yeah, yeah. Shield's not a reaction, is it?
No, you have to cast it on your turn, and then as a reaction, you can use it then until the beginning of your next turn. So that is gonna be 9 points of bludgeoning damage. It just clobbers you in the back of the head and it just grabs onto your hair and just has you now in this tight death grip. And you can see its jaw opens like, and it's going to, you can just tell that it's going to haul your shoulder back and take a big old bite when it has more actions on another turn. But now it's Zakah's turn.
It is. Anything else you want to throw in?
That's all I got.
Okay, good. Zakah has kind of looked around and is seeing these creatures, and instead of being frightened or mad about it, she just smiles and is like, yeah, it's playtime for me. And she says, "For Thaspier!" And she raises her great axe and comes down for the one that is right in front of her.
Yes.
The one that has not been hit.
The one that is
by
not
these two.
Okay.
Ooh, 17.
What's that?
17.
17 is a hit.
Ah. All right.
The axe bites deep.
Just seeing if I can add anything. Can I add my edge to damage?
It's only to an attack roll.
Okay.
Or a skill check. Or
All right, so that is a 16.
16
Points of damage.
points of damage. The axe bites especially deep. As I had mentioned before, they're weak to slashing damage, and they take an additional amount of damage equal to their weakness, which means that you cleave right through this thing, and it topples to the ground.
Yes!
Oh, wow.
Animate no more.
Huh?
Animate no more.
Well, mid-swing, I cleave this guy in half, and I'd like to just keep going for the guy right next to him using my
okay.
sweep action.
Your sweep.
My sweep.
Yeah? I assume you know exactly how sweep
Yes,
works.
it gives
pulls
me
out a
a
broom.
+1 bonus to my attack roll if I've already attempted to attack a different target using the same weapon.
Okay, so instead of being at a -5, this will be at a -4. Nice.
Woo, okay, so another 17.
That is another hit.
Nice.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow.
Kill it,
Come on,
dead.
max damage.
For real.
Oh, I shouldn't have jinxed myself. It's still gonna be 9 points of damage.
Still 9 points of damage, which because it was so badly wounded by
Double
your
tap.
other companions, it just crumbles.
Yeah.
Animate no more. That's 3 actions for you, which takes us to Sly. You see that Quindon now is in a heap of trouble.
So I want to do a somersault to get behind this guy.
Oh, do you?
Yep, I do.
Do you?
I really do.
Okay.
But to do a tumble through,
Don't screw it up.
I do have to attempt an acrobatics against the reflex DC of this zombie.
Zombies famed for their reflexes. This will
Yes.
be very difficult.
That is a total of 21 for me.
Yeah, that is a success.
Wonderful.
You easily get behind this creature. It barely even tracks you with its gaze as you move past it.
Wonderful. I would like to. I'm going to attack now because I already
Yeah.
had the sword out. I've been
Yeah.
walking around with my sword
Like
in
you do.
hand. So here is our attack. That's an 18 on the die. Plus 7 is 25. Is that a?
But that is a critical hit.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping you were about to say.
Woo!
So I am going to use my confident finish.
The most important question before we roll any damage, though.
Oh yeah.
Did you
The
succeed
haze.
on your flat check?
Sarah BC1!
Sarah BC1
That's
has,
true. That is
has
true.
fate surged. 5 or higher on the die means
5 or
that
higher
all
on
of
the
this
die.
was for what made sense, and it did. It wasn't for
Perfect.
nothing.
18 on the die.
Okay, then I guess you got it.
Means I know exactly what
You
I
know
am.
exactly what you're doing, even through the weird bluish haze that hangs in the air.
So because I'm adding the 2d6 of precision damage,
Yes.
is that going to be doubled as well? Do I roll that
His precision
again?
damage also gets.
Ooh. Okay, so
Wow.
here, well, I guess that means I'm going to be rolling 6d6 total.
What?
So that's 5
Goodness.
plus 11 is 16.
16.
Plus 6
22.
22.
plus I also double the bonus of 2, so 24.
24 points of damage. So Quindon, you can feel this thing's teeth like
No,
about to
no,
sink
no, no, no,
into
its breath is somehow hot, but it's dead.
into your shoulder, and then there's a flash of motion as Sly tumbles behind the creature and then just starts cutting it to ribbons. And all of the pressure on your head just releases. The thing falls away from you. Sly, you sort of nimbly dodge to the side, allowing it to fall flat on the floor in pieces as you have just absolutely destroyed it.
I would like to use my final action to wink and say, I gotcha.
Roll to wink.
Thank you.
Roll to wink. That's a 2. I blinked.
You blinked. You blinked. You didn't wink at all.
It was out anyway. Once I use that.
As near as you can tell, there are no more zombies. Though Quindon does have quite a lump on the back of his head.
Yeah, that hurt. Quindon is gonna look around. Does anybody else seem hurt?
Everybody else seems to be doing just fine.
So
Doing
he
great.
rubs his hands together. Heals himself for 1d8 plus 8 healing.
Wow.
I have too many dice. I
Two
wanna
actions.
pick. There's one
Add
that I
1d8
want.
While you find
9.
that dice, we somehow missed Jay Womack is the BBBB, giving me a hero point.
Ooh, Jamie.
It's a 2 action one.
Wait, you
1d8
got one in
plus
there.
8.
You got one in there.
That's kind of awesome.
Those
Very good.
perfect damage.
I got a 7 plus 8 will heal me for 15 points of damage.
15.
Which is-
you actually get to add an additional +1 to that. But you're at max anyway.
Imp in my head says 2 on the wink. He thinks you're having a stroke.
It's a quick like, yeah. I got
So
you.
you're now standing in this abandoned hallway, and you can see that the door they were trying to batter through has been extremely badly damaged. They were moments from breaking into it. What do you do?
Go
Gage.
over to the door. I'm going to go over to the door. If they almost tore it down, I
Yeah.
want to look inside.
Sure, you can actually see like there's like where the splintered wood. You can see there's light coming through. There's light on the other side of this. You can't quite really make out any details.
Can I use an athletics check to try to kick down the
Sure, yeah, you can.
Nat 20.
No, yeah, just, the door nearly shatters inward.
And can I have
You see, as light
nothing.
spills out into the hallway, there's a man in a black suit standing in the room with a knife in his hands, and he's sitting there. He's covered in his own blood. He tries to say something, but then he just falls over. He's dead. Maybe he's dying.
Gage.
I go run up to help him.
So you rush over, bend down. You can see blood just pooling out
Stabilize.
on the floor.
Ooh.
And we'll pick this up next time.
What?
Yes, we're done. We're out of here, my friends. We're gonna pick this up next
I have so
time.
many more
It's not
bonuses to
It's
There's
not even
so
the
many
guy we're
more
looking
bonuses,
for.
Jim.
No.
Well, use your bonuses. I don't know.
Oh, I
I-
thought we'd have one more
Luckily-
chance. I'm saving it.
Luckily,
Darn it, I
we will
wanted-
tally up all of your unused bonuses. We will decide. We will see how many you've got, and you may start with another hero point in the pool next week.
Don't you tempt us with those hero points. Now, what happens to the hero points they have? Do they get to hold on to those?
Well, you know, we were. Yeah, I think they should. I think the hero points can carry over between
Yay!
sessions.
Nice.
Oh, good, because I had one from last week too.
Oh my goodness.
So we'll carry over hero points, but you can
Hero
only have a
points.
maximum of 3 hero points at any one time. So holding on to them indefinitely doesn't do you a whole lot of good. Hero points in the pool do not count toward anybody's total. So if there are hero points in the pool and you already have 3, that's fine. But yes, you can hold on to hero points between sessions, just like cards. But that's it. Good.
That's
Excellent.
it?
That's it.
That's the end.
That's it.
That's
We
it.
reached
Luis
the end.
Martinez says we have
Excellent.
13 more minutes. Fight another naked statue quick.
Fight another statue. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Another big thank you to Sirenscape for helping make this show possible, and Norse Foundry making those dice cams come to life so that you guys can see all of the exciting rolls and all of the times that people somehow miss their box entirely while rolling. Just like a real game at home, dice go flying all over the place.
Everywhere.
They're everywhere. We will be back on Friday with another cast, another crew of characters, and another story under the sea. So we hope you will join us for that one. And of course, we'll be back to find out what happens to this crazy cast next Tuesday. All at CX p.m. Pacific time.
Quick, he's broken.
I'm broken.
We can get
That's
him.
it.
We can get him.
My wizard died, and I've gone on the fritz.
That's what happened.
I want to give a quick shout out to the fans. Thank you so much for the donations, all of them. Sorry. I'm with you, Chaz. I'm with you here. I'm not looking over there. I'm not doing it. There we go. All right. Just want to say thank you so much for the donations and the cheers. Obviously, they help us a lot in game, but as you have seen throughout the night, we have our donation bar back. It's very, very important. Very important to continue the show to get those donations. So thank you so much. As you can see, we have our March survival goal to try to survive March. And then obviously there's a bonus in there too, where if we do exceed our donations over the season, we will add in more episodes this season. But if we don't hit that goal, then we'll stop at 13.
That's right. We are running for 13 weeks as planned, but of course we have donation goals that can add extra story to the season. So if you want to see more, just keep supporting us, and we'll get there. Of course, you can support us on patreon.com/the DaT Dragon Show. Go do that. You will get access to cool polls that will directly affect the storyline, as Zakah's little side quest tonight proved. We also have plenty of other rewards. Just check them all. Check out all of our various tiers. We're sure that you will find something to your liking. And even just $2 a month, like that gets you access to cool stuff on our World Anvil that non-patrons actually can't see.
You are killing it on World Anvil.
Yeah.
Yeah, World
Oh my
Anvil
gosh,
is
there's so
like
much.
there's a lot of cool material coming out all the time. Some of it is secret; only patrons get to see it. So if you want to get access to all that secret stuff, just $2. That's all it costs a month, and that really helps us keep this show going. Because as people have pointed out, it looks really cool and the space is really awesome, but it's because we put a lot of resources into it. And
It'd be a real shame when
your
the space goes away at the
Yeah,
end.
if it goes away, that would be bad. So this show is
No
only
going
made
back to the
possible through
garage.
your support. So thank you all. We hope to see you back here Friday and next Tuesday for more Dragons and Things. That's all for me. Tech, get us out of here.
Bye, everybody.